his own locker room and gets set to take to the field here at the Swamp, Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. The Gators trying to go 8-0 with a victory today. They would be only the second team in University of Florida history to reach the 8-0 mark. The first was in 1928. Jim, that was your senior year, wasn't it?
Not quite. Also, they're one of only 3 undefeated Division I teams in college football right now.
That's right. Florida, along with Ohio State and Nebraska. Head coach Steve Spurrier has decided that Eric Kresser will get the start. The fourth-year junior out of Palm Beach Gardens has thrown just 48 passes this season, but he's close to 1,000 yards in his career, and a guy who has a tremendous amount of talent, Jim, and yet has had a great attitude about being a backup.
Well, all the guys in the wide receiver corps continue to compliment Kresser week after week because of his performance in practice, and they keep saying, gosh, if Eric got a chance to play in a real game, the fans would be astounded as to his abilities, and we're going to get a chance to see him play today. And of course, that guy right there, Danny Wuerffel, what a 95 season he's had, but he's going to take a rest today, we think.
Danny gets the day off with 5,928 career yards passing. Charlie Sadler, the head coach for Northern Illinois, he is in his 5th year with the Husky program, 18 wins and 34 losses. And again, they play a very tough non-conference schedule, part of it for financial reasons. But when you play teams that have so many more players, you end up paddling upstream quite a bit. Head coach Steve Spurrier of the Florida Gators in his 6th year at the helm. His overall record, 76-25-2. At the University of Florida, however, Steve Spurrier, 56-12-1.
He's had the most success of any SEC coach in history from the beginning of his career through the 5th season.
The homecoming crowd is traditionally the late arriving crowd of the season here at the University of Florida, and today is certainly no exception as the Gators get set to receive the opening kickoff. Reedell Anthony is deep. You see that average, but when you talk about Reedell Anthony as a kick returner, the conversation begins in Auburn, Alabama, where he returned 190 yards for a touchdown, changing the whole attitude of that game after Auburn had scored the first 10 points of the contest.
Yeah, Reedell is not only the excellent wide receiver in the fun and gun offense, but adds a great dimension to the kicking game for the Florida Gators.
Now number 38, a backup linebacker for Northern Illinois, Tom Domens, apparently is going to kick off as the Huskies come out in a bit of a strange formation. And they're going to onside it to start this thing, huh?
I've not seen a formation like this before. We've not seen them play, but...
Jamie Dove from the left side comes in and makes the kick. So they crossed the Gators up, but it didn't accomplish a great deal. As Anthony, or rather Jaquez Green, Quez across midfield, and Jaquez is down to the Northern Illinois 47-yard line.
Quez Green with perhaps the greatest speed of any Gator on the field this afternoon. Certainly gets the fun and gun off to a great start, moving beyond midfield. It was a bit of a scrambling effort by the Huskies to break down the Gators' blocking scheme when they started in that strange formation, but it really did not serve them well as the Gators are across midfield.
Florida starts with a tight end, 3 wide, swing it out to Eli Williams. Big block from Reggie Green. Eli's in the open field and falls forward to about the 37. Give him 11 yards and a first down. As we check the Gator offense, there is an injured player, Ike Hilliard, on that play. Eric Kresser getting the start at quarterback for the Florida Gators. You see Hilliard, Chris Doring, Dwayne Mobley, the Florida fullback. And up front, Odom Green, Mitchell Young, and Mo Collins. But the concern is down on the field. It appears to be the left knee that they were checking.
Yeah, it's 15, I think, Larry. Reedell Anthony. Yes, it is 15. We can see it on his shoulder pads there. And there. Oh, I did not see it. I was watching the ball being caught. It didn't look downfield to where Anthony was blocking, but it seems to be his knee.
This appeared to be a game where Reedell could have a kind of a breakout ball game. It's been a bit of a slow season for Reedell as a receiver, only 17 catches, whereas Hilliard and Doring have 36 each. but the medical staff checks him out. In fact, I see Ike Hilliard on the sideline, not dressed out. He's had maybe a little bit of a hamstring problem, and Ike Hilliard is just on the sidelines in his jersey, but not fully dressed out. Defensively for Northern Illinois, we talked about at the top of our telecast, senior C.J. Rose. He's the key guy up front. You also have Steve Rhodes, Hollis Thomas, and Wade White, the linebacking core. And in the secondary, Todd Garifo, the free safety. Garifo is actually their leading tackler and also has 3 of the Huskies' 6 pass interceptions. Let's check out Riedel Anthony on that play and see exactly what happened.
To the right of your screen, you're going to see, he gets leg whipped. Oh, he had a Husky on his back, and then he's inadvertently leg whipped by a Husky in front, and then right there, you see, that got the knee. Just a freak accident, as many injuries are in the game of football. But he's walking a little bit. At least that's somewhat of a good sign.
Well, certainly you're always worried about those knee ligaments, sprained or torn, are the biggest concern when you see a guy down like that, and we'll get a report from Steve Babick as quickly as possible to find out what happened. But Jaquez Green, who had that opening kick return, will go into the game as a wide receiver along with Travis McGriff, a redshirt freshman from P.K. Young School right here in Gainesville. Anthony not able to put much weight on that at all as he walks very, very gingerly just now reaching the sideline, and that has certainly put a quietness about this stadium as everybody is kind of holding their breath and concerned about the Florida sophomore wide receiver. On first down, Kresser looking deep. He overshoots his man. That was Green. Jaquez Green cutting over the middle, but Eric Kresser too tall. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from just inside the 37-yard line.
Well, there's no question Eric Kresser can get the ball deep down the field. Really, the only question mark is his degree of accuracy and his ability to throw under pressure. And those are the only type of things you find out when you play. And so Kresser's going to get a chance to play under pressure this afternoon.
Kresser drops back, throws it to Travis McGriff at the 25, makes a man miss, and then is knocked out of bounds at about the 18-yard line. Good pop delivered by Garifo, the senior out of Arlington Heights, Illinois. But Florida gets a big pickup and a first down.
Todd Garifo does not miss. Really hits Travis McGriff square up. A nice blow by the free safety. McGriff with the excellent move initially.
And Travis, the second Florida wide receiver to be shaken up. He's knocked a little woozy on that hit. They mark him out of bounds at the 22-yard line, but he was popped at the 17.
Travis McGriff only seeing some action most recently against the Georgia Bulldogs. Late in that game, actually had a touchdown catch. 2 catches in the game. You see young Travis there. He was listed at cornerback for a while on the Gator depth chart. See Ike Hilliard resting along the sideline.
So Florida a little thinned out at wide receiver. They'll come out, however, with Nafis Kareem joining Jaquez Green. 2 redshirt freshmen from Georgia on the right side, Doring on the left side, and 2 backs behind Kresser on first down at the 22. Kresser in the pocket, throws deep. Great catch! Touchdown, Elijah Williams. Wow!
Well, that's one of the prettiest catches we've seen all year long. I think he might have caught it with one hand. Let's take a look. Eli Williams coming out of the backfield, filters down into the center field area where the safeties have fanned off to the corners to protect against the wide receivers. And he literally makes the one-handed grab at the goal line, maintains possession for the Gators' first touchdown here at homecoming in the 95 season.
And the first touchdown reception for Elijah Williams this year. Florida Gator running backs have caught quite a few passes, but that's the first Gator running back to catch a touchdown pass as we get another look at the great catch by Eli Williams out of Milton.
Eric Kresser under pressure right there, too. It's the ball perfectly to Eli, but the catch was just simply fantastic.
Well, we played 55 seconds. It did not take long for the Gators. Touchdown on the board.
still enjoy going to work in the morning.
Nothing like that feeling.
It's worth every penny in my own
I had
business.
my own business. I enjoy it. I feel strong.
It's a great feeling.
When it's your business, you put your heart and soul into every decision.
I basically dictate my fate.
Confident flexibility that you have.
So consider this one. The corporate card from American Express.
To me, that's a sign of success.
The card that helps you manage smarter.
Call now and we'll take your application right over the phone.
Now, small businesses save 3% on mobile gasoline
That's a plus.
and get discounts on car rentals, hotels, and UPS overnight shipping. Accident disability insurance at no extra cost. And detailed monthly and quarterly reports to maintain control.
Express fax.
The rewards are wonderful.
See how the corporate card gives you what it gives over 1 million small businesses. The freedom to do what you do best.
It's easy to apply for the corporate card.
Call 1-800-SUCCESS.
The best card to have.
You'll soon remember why you started your own business in the first place.
You obviously have to love what you're doing.
The Florida Gators get set to kick off for the first time in this ball game. It'll be Matt Teague approaching the ball, a junior out of Keystone Heights. Jones and Moody deep for the Huskies. And it'll be Leon Moody with the ball at the 3. They do a little circle play. Who's got the ball? The guy who just got tackled at about the 16-yard line.
Well, I'm glad we didn't have to make the decision from up here because we had no idea who had it.
We need a replay in slow motion, 4 or 5 angles, but Deion Mitchell ended up with it, and Tony George and Sam McCorkle ended up with Deion Mitchell. 47 yards, the drive set up by the kick return by Jaquez Green.
Well, the Northern Illinois Huskies, obviously a huge underdog here this afternoon, and they're trying to pull out a few trick plays when they get the chance, and they really execute this play very nicely.
There's the give to Talley. Charles Talley spins his way to the 20-yard line. Give him about 3 or 4 yards on the play. Quarterback Brandon Barker. He is a backup out of Amarillo, Texas. Their starter, Aaron Gilbert, injured in their loss to the University of Cincinnati. Up front, 4 of the 5 starting offensive linemen are from Canada, and yet we did not hear "Oh Canada" prior to the start of today's ball game. Little option flag on the play, and down goes the quarterback. I'm not sure you want your quarterback running with the ball when you're down to your second and third team guys, but Bennett takes the hit. He's okay. Let's see if Florida was offside or if the Huskies moved. The flag's thrown on either side of the line of scrimmage.
Offside, defense, 5 yards from the previous spot, second down.
So it'll make it second and a long yard for the Huskies at the 25-yard line. Defensively for the Gators, Ed Chester. Among those defensive linemen, the linebacking crew, Jason Bartley getting a start at inside backer, being a senior. And Tico Brown had quite a debut last week as the free safety against Georgia. On the draw play, big hole opens up for Talley, bouncing off tacklers to the 37. Lawrence Wright ends up getting in on the tackle. It's first down for Northern Illinois. Let's go down to the field and get a report from Steve Babbitt.
Okay, first of all, on Riddell Anthony, not bad news at all. Basically got leg whipped in the shin, a bruised shin. They're going to hold him out a few series, though, just to make sure that it's okay. And Travis McCriff just got his bell rung. He'll be back in there when he's cleared.
Boy, that's good news. Well done, Steve. We'll give him an A in doctoring for the first quarter of this ball game. Option right, not much there. Ben Hanks in there to make the tackle for the Florida defense, along with Jason Bartley. There you see Talley, 49 yards away from 1,000 coming into this game, and had a nice pickup of 15 yards on his first couple of carries, so he ought to reach that 1,000 mark today. He'll be the 7th runner in school history to reach 1,000 in a season. On the draw play, Talley picks his way through traffic and spins up to about the 44-yard line.
Northern Illinois, we mentioned currently in the Big West Conference, will play as an independent next year, Larry, before returning to the Mid-American Conference, where they had been throughout most of their Division I history. You can see the draw play here working early for the Huskies. Again, going to big Charles Talley. He weighs in at about 228.
Anthony Lott shaken up on the play, comes out of the ball game. Lots of running room to the outside yet again. And up to midfield, picking up the first down. is Deion Mitchell. Mitchell, a wide receiver, will also come out of that wingback slot when they run the option and very often be the deep man on that option play. He's a freshman.
Now, the Gators have not seen the option attack much this year at all. Tennessee ran it a little bit along the goal line. But it's a new dimension for the Gator defense to work on. And certainly the Huskies run with excellence the option attack.
From midfield, they keep it on the ground. Talley runs into a blocker and then goes forward for about 6 or 7 yards before he's stopped. Shea Showers gets in on the tackle along with Fred Weary and Dexter Daniels.
Well, the Huskies coming in today, Larry, again, with a priority on trying to establish the running game, trying to eat some clock up to stay in this thing. They're huge up front as we look at the size 6'3", 297. The Gators 6'5", 295. So these guys look good in the lobby, just like the Gators do, and let's see what they can do in the competitive pit of the swamp here.
Bennett on the keeper, stumbles forward close to the 40 and close to a first down. Dexter Daniels makes the stop, and the spot makes it look like he's got the first down at the Florida 40. They may measure.
Charlie Sadler, the head coach of Northern Illinois, has got to be excited about what he sees right now as he sees his offense holding on to the football and moving the chains. Again, that's really the only hope they have, is controlling the football, keeping the fun and gun guys on the sideline, because the Gators we saw scored in 55 seconds. So they're going to run this ball down the Gators' throat if they can, and certainly they're getting on the corner with the option.
Florida just not getting any penetration from those defensive tackles and ends to force that option a little bit deeper. From the 40-yard line, Northern Illinois on the move. The Gator crowd starts to make some noise. 38 yards already on this drive for the Huskies. They run a delay. Not much there, fighting through traffic. David Barnard, Johnny Church get in on the tackle.
Yeah, it looked like Johnny Church made the first hit right at the point of attack. There you see Johnny Church, who's having an outstanding senior season out of Fort Myers Cypress Lakes High School. Johnny, one of the smaller guys up front, really, for the Gators, came in to the program around 240 pounds, and bulked up to about 261 currently.
Quick pitch because of the pressure, but it's handled by Mitchell. Deion Mitchell stutter steps around and gets down to about the 31-yard line. So Florida got the good initial penetration, but no backup, and it'll be 3rd down and 1 for the Huskies.
Well, everybody does their job. Johnny Church does his job. Now that Tico Brown has got to make this tackle in the open field. You'll see Tico fly up there, but he doesn't make the tackle. And Deion Mitchell picks up excellent yardage because of that missed open field tackle.
So a 3rd and 1 play for the Florida Gators defensively at the 31-yard line. The Huskies right around 40%. That's not bad. Fullback, nothing there. Down he goes for a loss of 4 yards. Mark Campbell, along with Timmy Beauchamp, who had just checked into the lineup, make the stop.
Seemed to be Beauchamp who made the most penetration. Look to the left of your screen. Oh, it's Mark Campbell, and Beauchamp gets the chance to make the tackle because Mark Campbell stuffed the hole. Look at big Mark Campbell. He's playing defensive tackle, which really I think he does a better job at tackle than on the outside because of his strength and leverage.
They'll go for it on 4th and 3 from the Gator 33. First pass attempt, and it almost went the other way. Shea Showers breaks it up, and Florida will get the ball, but Showers a half step from going 70 the other way.
Well, that's what you would expect a good cornerback to do in that situation. Anticipate the short hitch to pick up the first down. They tried to get the ball out to Ralph Strickland, the wide receiver. Shea Showers mentally into the ball game, makes the break physically, almost picks it off, but the most important thing is he was all over Strickland and did not allow the reception to take place.
So the Gators with their second possession. Their first was 47 yards from the end zone. This time they are 67 yards away. Florida will keep it in the air. Kresser hit as he throws it. Floats, but is caught by Nafis Kareem at about the 48-yard line. Nafis out of Marietta, Georgia, with his 6th reception of the season.
Well, C.J. Rose this time working on Mo Collins. the young freshman on the right side. Look at the bottom of your screen on the corner. Gets underneath him. Mo turns into kind of a swinging door right there. He can't do that, and Eric Kresser does get hit, but the ball comes down perfectly into the secondary.
Terry Jackson straight ahead. Terry Jackson to the Northern Illinois 46-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 6 yards for Jackson, which will put him right at 500 for the season.
Terry Jackson a bit wounded coming out of the Auburn game, but seems to be back to 100%. Eli Williams starting this afternoon, but again, a normal rotation for the Gatorbacks to go to Terry Jackson on the second possession.
Gators keep it on the ground. Big hole. Jackson 35. Terry Jackson is dropped at the 33-yard line. Nice open field tackle is made by Todd Garifo. But Terry Jackson picked up about 13 on the play and another Florida first down.
Look to the bottom of your screen now. You can see big Mo Collins, the young freshman. This time, Rose does a nice job of standing him up, but Mo Collins does not give up on the block. He maintains contact, and Larry, it's so important for the big guys up front to maintain contact with the other guys so they can't simply stuff the play at the line of scrimmage.
Did he hold on? Yes, he did. Nafis Kareem again showing those hands. This guy reminds me so much of Aubrey Hill. He really does. Nafis has the same body type, runs those routes, and here he shows the good hands and the toughness.
Nafis Kareem, that's a tough catch. Reaching back behind you, and then he takes the double hit and still holds on to the football.
Mark it at the 18-yard line. Florida trying to go up 2 scores early. Kresser for Doring. No, sir. A little strong for the senior wide receiver. Flag on the play at the 20-yard line, thrown by the umpire. Then you know what that's going to mean.
Yeah, somebody's holding in the interior. William Triplett, number 32 for the Huskies, did a beautiful job covering Doring, the guy who gets to the end zone most often for the Gators.
10 yards for the foul. First down.
After the Georgia game, Coach Spurrier was really disappointed with his big guys up front for getting sloppy. Jeff Mitchell just uses his left hand. Seemed to grab a little bit of jersey there. You have the right to push the guy down with the open hand, but you can't grab any jersey.
David Nabavi has checked into the ball game for Florida. Walk-on wide receiver out of Orlando, number 84, is split to the bottom of the screen. On 1st and 22, Kresser's got a man over the middle. That's Doring at the 14-yard line. Chris Doring will be wrestled to the ground by half the Northern Illinois defense, but it'll be a big pickup for the Florida Gators as they get the holding penalty back, plus a few more yards to go with it.
See his numbers for the 95 season. We talked about Chris Doring seeing the exploits of Chris Collinsworth here at Florida Field when Doring was a youngster, and wishing that someday he might get a chance to do that. And has he ever had a great career in his senior year here at homecoming for Doring?
Gators inside the 20 this year have been superb. On second down, Kresser in trouble, flips it out of his pocket. Terry Jackson gets it down to about the 10-yard line as Eric Kresser turns a loss into a pickup of about 3 or 4 yards.
Well, Eric Kresser's not getting the kind of protection that Danny Wuerffel's used to for whatever reason right now. Glenn Brown, number 94 from the top of your screen, working on Jason Odom, does a beautiful job on the spin move. You see him use that 360-degree spin on big Jason Odom and spun himself right into Eric Kresser's backside. Eric still flips the ball out to Jackson.
Huskies running all over the place. They had 12 men on the field. Jackson fumbles, then falls on it at the 4-yard line. That'll be a first down, so the Gators will decline the penalty. There was not an illegal participation, not a major penalty, but they did have that 12th guy still about 7-8 yards from the sidelines, and the Gators will have first and goal at the 4-yard line. Terry Jackson dropped that ball in traffic, but he fell on it and got the first down yardage inside the 5.
Was Terry a basketball player in high school, Larry, much like his brother Willie? We saw him take the ball off the dribble right there, more or less. Willie Jackson, of course, playing with the Gator basketball team early in his career. I guess Terry did that in high school as well?
Yes, Terry Jackson was a point guard.
Substitution, violation on the defense is declined. First down.
Terry was a point guard as a freshman 4 years ago, or 5 years ago, when PKO won the state title, and their top rebounder was the power forward named Doring.
Is that right?
That is right.
Yeah, those kids are obviously great athletes, and that's one of the reasons the Gator football team is having such great success.
On first and goal, nothing there. Kresser will now throw it out of the end zone. Good job by Eric Kresser to get rid of the ball and not take a large loss. It'll be second down and goal from the 4-yard line.
Well, the Huskies are doing a fine job of putting pressure on Eric Kresser. That was Sondergroth, number 50, with an excellent pressure right there from his nose guard position.
Florida with 3 wide receivers, 2 backs behind Kresser on second down. They have to trying to spread the Huskies out, but they're not spreading out too far. Full blitz, Gators pick it up, fade to Doring, touchdown! That's 12 on the year, 26 on the career for Chris Doring.
William Triplett's really in excellent position right here. The only thing Triplett doesn't know is when the ball gets in the air. Doring does a nice job of not getting his hands up until the last second. Doesn't tip his hand to William Triplett. Triplett thinks he's in position to make the play, but he's not aware that the ball's in the air until it's too late. And we talked about Kresser's arm strength, but really he showed excellent touch there.
It looked like the ball glanced off Triplett's left arm or shoulder on the way to Chris Doring. Here's Bart Edmiston with the extra point. Bart has not missed.
Hey, bite your tongue.
He hasn't missed. I think that confidence goes right on through. Bart now
Was that a bait shot? That was a bait shot.
But he called it.
Oh, he did?
As long as you call it, it still counts. 44 in a row for Bart Edmiston. And the high-scoring Florida Gators have a 2-touchdown lead on the Huskies of Northern Illinois.
And now let's make that random call with today's $10,000 question. Who shot Alexander Hamilton in that famous duel? Hello, for $10,000. Excuse me? Oh, I'm sorry. Your time is up.
We all know who's number 1 in the SEC, and we know who's number 1 for Gator fashion apparel. It's the Bull Gator, right across the street from the stadium. If you want the latest in fashion and gift ideas, don't even think of going anywhere else. Right now, the Bull Gator has a new catalog, so call 1-800-GO-SWAMP. Ordering is easy, and you'll love the prices. Don't wait till game day. Order now and be ahead of the crowd. Call 1-800-GO-SWAMP. That's 1-800-GO-SWAMP.
Cross, a wraparound dribble, and a layup off the glass.
Established itself at the top of the SEC.
Under the Page, great lead to lay it in.
Wuerffel back to throw and firing. It's a touchdown!
Well, there's the normal tandem, Danny Wuerffel and Chris Doring. Doring's the senior, but it's Wuerffel getting the day off. And, Jim, you talked about Doring, and his idol as a youngster was Chris Collinsworth. Well, tell you what, he's passing up his idol on some of the receiving statistics as we look at the numbers coming into this ball game for Doring and Collinsworth.
I think the obvious dimension that Doring doesn't have that Collinsworth did have was the lightning speed. Doring with good speed, but Chris Collinsworth was a burner. He had that extra jet in his pocket.
To the goal line. They'll try that play once again. Someone got flattened, but who has the ball? Ralph Strickland ended up with the ball, a fat lip, a couple of bruises as Mike Mud Harris got down there on the coverage along with Travis McGriff, who seems fine, David Walton, and that may be the last time we see this kick return.
Sam McCorkle pretends he's a bowling ball right here. Look at McCorkle. He's going to knock all the pins down. He almost got a strike right there. Got everybody. Oh, man. That McCorkle is so much fun to watch on specialty teams. Woo!
Carlton Pouncey, number 36, was the first guy to make contact with Strickland. On the draw, whistles all over the place. Must have been a false start. And they'll back it up even further than the 8-yard line for the Huskies. 4:49 to go. We are in the opening quarter, the Florida Gators.
Dead ball, false start, offense, half a distance, first down.
There you see Sam McCorkle, 50-year senior out of Fort Pierce Central High School. Let's go down again to Steve Babbitt. Steve?
Thanks, Larry. Just an update on McGriff and Anthony. Travis McGriff received his first battle scar as a Gator. He received 3 stitches on his chin because it was cut on that one hit that he got his bell rung. Also, Oriel Anthony, he talked about it being a game of inches. Dr. Pete Yellowcotto said if he would have been leg whipped about 3 inches higher, that could have been a very serious injury.
Bennett, with plenty of time, goes down the sideline. Great coverage for the Florida Gators. Ben Hanks, stride for stride. Anthony Lott had deep coverage on Brandon Willis, and there was nowhere for Brandon Barker to throw the football.
Anthony Lott does not bite on the pump fake to the sideline. He maintains his poise. Is not about to let Brandon Willis get beyond him down the sideline. As you see, Barker's stats right there.
Barker did start one game last year for the Huskies. He's the nephew of Bubby Brisker, now with the New York Jets. Draw play, gets a yard, that's it. James Bates into the ball game for Florida, makes the tackle on Talley. Florida hopes to get a lot of guys into this ball game, and certainly they are sharper than they were against the Huskies 4 years ago.
Oh, David Bernard with great penetration. James Bates unblocked. He and Dexter Daniels both there to make the tackle. Inside linebackers got to make tackle after tackle after tackle. The big guys up front do the penetrating. They create the havoc, and the inside linebackers get a chance to get the glory and make all the tackles.
Northern Illinois calls timeout as they had 10 seconds on the play clock, and players still running onto the field to join the huddle. We've got time with 4:15 to go, opening quarter on a beautiful homecoming Saturday in Gainesville. The Gators up 14-zip on Sports Channel.
You know, Jimmy, we're a lot alike. We both work to build winners.
That's right, Coach. When you buy Osmo's pressure-treated lumber from Great Southern Wood, it's clean and straight and backed by a lifetime guarantee.
Oh, Coach, they finished redecorating your office.
My office? No one was supposed to. I like it. I like it. So remember, if it doesn't say Osmos on the yellow tag, believe me, you don't want it.
For centuries, the people of New Guinea have used a form of wireless communication that is simple, reliable, and convenient, so they can always stay in touch. Our geography is a bit larger, and our tribe includes all of humankind. Introducing AT&T Wireless Services, technology that sets you free. Call 1-800-IMAGINE.
Right now, John Morrison isn't thinking about cancer or the medical studies that conclude foods rich in vitamin C, like Florida orange juice, may actually help lower the risk of some types of cancer. So while he may not know it, he's doing something good for his body every morning. Even on those days he's just not able to exercise. 100% pure Florida orange juice. To your health.
Play one game at a time. Don't be cavalier. Is that a little message to the rivals up in Tallahassee? Florida State upset by Virginia Thursday night.
That's right. Yes, Santa Claus, there is a Virginia.
Well, that's a big win for the Cavs, and of course takes a little bit of the luster off Florida State, but the Gators still have business to take care of between now and then with South Carolina next week in particular. Option play, quarterback gets drilled, lots of running room for Mitchell, but not enough to get a first down as he's tackled by Fred Weary and cleaned up by Shea Showers at about the 13-yard line, and it'll be 4th down and about 5 or 6 yards to go for Northern Illinois.
Now that's a conservative play, obviously, on 3rd and long, but they felt like they might get a chance to get Mitchell outside in the open field. Almost did it, but they just had too much real estate to make up to get the first down, and they're forced to punt the ball away.
Jaquez Green is back to receive the punt. Last year it was Sorolla Palmer, and most of this year it's been Riedel Anthony, but with that shin bruise, Riedel's not back there. Not a big rush, a wobbly kick that Quez takes to the 45. He breaks it to the outside. He's got 15 on the return. He's got 20. Flag on the play. I think you're going to have a holding on the block attempt at around the 30-yard line, and the Gators will be backed up from that spot. A 22-yard return on a 33-yard punt, but I'm afraid that's going to come back a ways, although Florida will still have the ball in Husky territory.
That's a mental error. This is not a physical error. This is a mental error. One of the guys blocking, already Quez Green, is beyond the opponent's 30-yard line, and somebody pushes in the back or perhaps a clip. Let's see what the call is going to be.
Holding on the run back. 10 yards from the spot of foul. First down.
Just really unnecessary, and Coach Ron Zook really disappointed in the perpetrator, whoever it was. He's going after him.
That'll move the ball to the 40-yard line, but Florida, which had a quick 47-yard scoring drive for its first touchdown and a 67-yard drive for its second, now has its best field position of the day. The numbers for Kresser outstanding, as Eric Kresser now has 6 touchdown passes on the season and only 1 interception. Riedel Anthony is back in the game as the Gators do the handback. Kresser throwing deep. Riedel, it's too strong. He's out of the end zone.
The play took a little bit long to develop, and Riedel Anthony has so much speed that he ran away from the end zone. I mean, he got into the end zone, out of the end zone before the play could be executed.
It seemed like Eric Kresser was waiting for Riedel to clear the coverage, and by that time there wasn't enough room to get it in between the coverage and the back end of the end zone.
Yeah, by that time he was about to clear the swamp. He was on his way out of here.
Tight end on the right side, Sean Nunn on 2nd and 10. Kresser with time, out to Nunn. Sean makes a lunging catch and goes down at the 17-yard line. The big junior out of Ocala Vanguard with the grab.
Sean Nunn with only 4 receptions prior to this afternoon's ball game. Again, the tight ends not the primary receivers in the fun and gun offense, but when given the chance, a guy like Sean Nunn wants to take advantage of it. He makes a beautiful catch right here. Over the shoulder. There's the big junior out of Ocala. Nice job, Sean Nunn.
Now Florida with no running back. Kresser down the field, overthrows his intended receiver, Tremaine Allen. The Gators do not have a touchdown reception for their tight ends. Allen with 2 catches, Nunn with 5. And they had no touchdowns for their running backs until the catch earlier in this game by Elijah Williams.
Well, Tremaine Allen certainly did his job right there. He ran a beautiful post route, wide open. We've seen Chris Doring run the same post route throughout the 95 season and catch buku touchdown passes. That time Tremaine Allen runs the route just as well, but the ball's not delivered.
He probably doesn't get down there quite as quickly as Chris. Kresser throws a bullet to Doring at about the 8-yard line, and that'll be just shy of first down yardage. That's the strong-armed Eric Kresser. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 1 for Florida at the 8-yard line as we near the 3-minute mark to go here in the opening quarter. Gators trying to make it touchdowns on 3 consecutive possessions.
They stayed with this 2 tight end formation throughout this drive.
Elijah Williams down to the 5, and a flag goes down as Eli picks up the first down, and that thrown in a place where you think it might be holding again.
Actually, I think it was one of the wide receivers, Larry, peeling back and hitting one of the defenders in the back. That's what I thought I saw out there on that side of the field. Let's see what the call is.
Illegal block.
Yeah.
Gets the offense. 10 yards.
We get a chance to see it. It's Quez Green to the left of the formation. He's going to come back. Eli's going to pop outside now. You see Quez Green right there. Well, yeah, he just should have stayed out of the way. You can't do anything from that position, so rather than even touch the guy or thinking about blocking him, you just need to forget about it. But it's a learning experience for that youngster, too. Quez Green not being on the field that much this year, so That's one of the processes that's good about a game like this. A lot of the young guys get a chance to learn under pressure.
Ends up being a 3rd down and long as Florida has 2 seconds on the play clock, just getting it off. Eric Kresser down the middle, and it might have skipped off the fingertips of a Northern Illinois defender. It looked like Steve Smith, the middle backer, might have deflected that ball, and it goes incomplete. Florida will have to settle for a field goal.
You're exactly right. Smith did a beautiful job of taking his drop from the inside linebacker position, getting his eyes on Kresser, and then at the last second leaping, trying to get in the passing lane. That's exactly what happened. Nice play by Steve Smith, the middle linebacker for the Huskies.
Well, they had the tight end covered, didn't they? Smith underneath and 2 guys closing in on him. Edmiston with the field goal attempt. It is good. So Bart Edmiston, who was 1 out of 4, has made his last 2 field goals. He has 5 points in this ball game, and the Florida Gators extend their lead to 17-0 with still 2:12 to play in this opening quarter in the Swamp. That is the sentiment of a lot of Florida fans as they look ahead to November 25th. But keep in mind, the Gators have action next weekend at South Carolina, and the weekend action back here in the Swamp against Vandy before Florida State comes to town. But more Gator sports action is headed your way. One of the best volleyball matches of the year in the entire country. It'll be 3rd-ranked Florida at #1 Nebraska, live right here on Sports Channel Sunday, November 12th at 3 o'clock. See 2 of the nation's very best square off in a key regular season showdown. Florida-Nebraska live November 12th at 3 right here on Sports Channel. Be sure to check your local listings for Sports Channel coverage in your area.
You know, that's a tough game when they call them kill shots. I mean, that's a tough kill. Boy, they don't even use that word in football. Very often, anyway.
At least they, in the huddles, I think, on occasion they might. Just 1:43 on that drive as Florida only gets 3 out of great field position, starting off at the Northern Illinois 40. But the Gators had a holding call on the punt return. They had a block in the back call on a run that would have made it 1st and goal. So a couple of penalties working against the Gators as Florida kicks off. Leon Moody has it at the 9, no big huddle. He just comes up the field with lots of room. And there's Matt Teague to force him inside, and Teague and Carlton Pouncey team up on the tackle at about the 40 or 41-yard line. So the Huskies will have their best field position. Northern Illinois' first drive, they ran the ball well against the Gators, but they have not been able to get anything going passing the football.
Matt Teague does a nice job of denying the sideline to Leon Moody right here. Matt Teague is, in essence, one of the 2 safety men, and he did a nice job along the sideline right there. But still, the Huskies with their best field position of the afternoon to start a drive on.
3 wide receivers out to the right as they'll put it up in the air. Parker throws. He's got Mitchell, and Deion Mitchell wrapped up by freshman Johnny Rutledge after a gain of about 4 yards. Rutledge out of Belle Glade Central High School, and this is potentially a tremendous linebacker, has all the tools.
Johnny Rutledge getting more and more action in the 95 season as we progress through it. He's a true freshman, right?
That's right.
Didn't have the luxury of getting the redshirt year, which a lot of freshmen do.
On the delay, Talley, open field. Charles Talley down the right side. Tico Brown catches him, but cannot bring him down and cannot knock him out. It is a touchdown for the Huskies. So how about that? Northern Illinois, with their running back Charles Talley going over the 1,000-yard mark on a 55-yard touchdown run.
Well, we see Talley make the break back against the grain right there. Lawrence Wright got caught up along the line of scrimmage and was not able to make the tackle. He was really the last line of defense. And once Talley got beyond Lawrence Wright, he was on his way to the Huskies' first touchdown of the afternoon. And we see right there an indication of why this team has had some success this year running the football.
Florida's Tico Brown shaken up after that lunging effort. As you watch the run up the middle, the Gators over pursue it.
Now Mike Moten gets taken out of the play. Oh, Anthony Lott also collides with the umpire right there. Anthony Lott and Lawrence Wright not with the best of angles. Tico Brown with a desperation dive, but not enough to deny Talley the Husky touchdown.
Hard to tell what might have happened. Maybe just the wind knocked out of Tico Brown as he landed on his chest. But Charles Talley, showing why he's one of the top 20 tailbacks in the country statistically, has already rumbled for 85 yards in this opening quarter. Brown is okay. Also on that drive, Ed Chester, defensive lineman, checked out of the Florida lineup, but I think he's okay. Gators having a busy first quarter for the medical staff, which you do not want to see. Unbelievable. You won't see an extra point kick much worse than that one.
Well, not really the kicker's fault, though, I don't think either, Larry. The ball was high snap, and then Dobay bobbled it, and Clark really had no chance at all, I don't think.
There you see the drive for the Huskies as they quickly were able to get on the scoreboard, and it's 17-6 as a result of that missed extra point. Let's get a look at that snap and hold again.
Actually, it was a low snap, and Dobay tries to get the handle, but Clark's not able to get it airborne. Once again, here's the Husky touchdown. See nice blocking on the outside, and that's the cutback against the grain, and the safety in the corner get picked off just beyond the line of scrimmage. Tico Brown. Cannot get over, and it's the Huskies are on the board, and that's a big lift for their confidence here.
Florida defensive coordinator Bob Pruitt second in that picture from the left. You saw Bobby Sanders. Gator inside linebackers coach Jim Collins there. Jim likes to see his inside backers make the play on those inside runs. So it's 17-6 ball game as Northern Illinois gets set to kick off. Elijah Williams is the deep man for the Gators along with Jacquez Green. Here's the alignment again, and the left-footed kicker Dubé is there. So we'll see what they do. High and not too deep. Eli Williams lets it hit and go out of bounds. And that'll put the ball at the 35-yard line. Good decision there.
Oh, great decision. That's exactly what you do. Don't mess around with that ball when it's so close to the sideline inside your own 20. Just let it bounce out of bounds, and you'll get it out on the 35. That's if it's so close to the sideline, you're sure it's going to go out.
So Florida will get good field position at the 35-yard line. Eric Kresser has led the Gators on 3 scoring drives, 2 touchdowns, and a field goal. He comes out with 2 receivers to the right, Quez Green and Travis McGriff. Chris Doring to the left. Dwayne Mobley is in at fullback along with Terry Jackson. Jackson gets the ball, bounces it outside. Terry's got 5, 10. Terry Jackson with 13, maybe 14 yards on the play.
Did you see him dip that shoulder? When you said the word 10, he got hit. When the play was over, you said the word 14. He got an extra 4 yards after dipping the shoulder. Nice blocking on the left side. Reggie Green, Jason Odom. Now he's good. He doesn't have a chance to switch the ball on the other hand, but he does have a chance to dip that shoulder. And Damian Mallory finally making the hit, free safety.
And we've got another shaken up player, this time one of the Northern Illinois players still on the ground as you get a look at Terry Jackson, who really burst on the scene for the Florida Gators. Jackson ran shoulder to shoulder up against Damian Mallory, and it was Terry Jackson getting the win. His older brother Willie looks on. Willie has had a terrific year with the Jacksonville Jaguars, but they're off this week, and he gets to come over for homecoming.
Well, that's what it's all about, coming home not only to the campus, but of course this family grew up in Gainesville. This is their hometown, so that is a thrill for Terry to have brother Willie here.
There you see the Florida running game this year has been outstanding, almost 190 yards per game on the ground, but a big difference in touchdowns. Last year, the Gators ran for 19 touchdowns all season long. They have 16 already so far this season. Let's go down to the field. It's homecoming. Let's see who Steve's been able to find on the sidelines.
Well, hey, we have happy homecoming to Willie Jackson. And, Will, I know it's exciting to be a former Gator, come back, see your team play. And, of course, a little family interest in there with the brother Terry playing well.
Yeah, that makes it all more exciting. I mean, it's already exciting just to come in here and watch all the fans have a good time and let alone see my brother play.
You know, it's always exciting when a former Gator can go on and do well in the NFL, and you're just right up the road in Jacksonville. It's exciting. Talk about the first year with the Jags.
Well, it's been fun, you know, and we have half of the fans out of here, you know, come up and support us. So, I'm close to home, so I have a great experience.
And I know you personally just want the chance to play, and things have gone well for Willie Jackson as wide receiver.
Yeah, they're going well. You know, I'm hoping that they'll go better in the second half of the season.
Thanks, Willie. Good to see you again, buddy.
Thanks a lot.
Eric Kresser runs out of trouble, throws it to Terry Jackson. Terry fights out of the grasp of two defenders, still on his feet, and all that to lose 2 yards. That's too much like work for a loss of 2. Terry Jackson's 13th reception of the season.
Now the Gators seem to be struggling at the line of scrimmage, giving Eric Kresser the time he needs to look downfield. He really gets this ball out to an alternative receiver, Terry Jackson, in the flat area, but Terry again makes a little bit of something out of nothing. Got to do a better job protecting Eric Kresser up front right now to give him the chance to get the ball in the air downfield.
Kresser with time, throws it deep for Chris Goring, too strong. Eric Kresser with that big arm of his, and he does have a tendency to overthrow, and he has done it a few times today, including that one to Doring, who was coming open.
Doring just split the seam in the secondary. The offensive line did give Kresser the time right there, although he gets some pressure late from his right side. Doring with a desperation leap almost gets to the football, but Derek DePornick there in the secondary was in coverage.
On third down, the Gators need more than 11 yards, and they get more from Travis McGriff down to the 40-yard line of the Huskies. So Travis McGriff, who got his first career touchdown between the hedges, picks up the catch for the Florida Gators.
Well, showing excellent hands right there. Just see how he just kind of reached up and snatched the ball out of the air right there. Beautiful job by Travis McGriff.
The final play of the first quarter is a completion from Kresser to McGriff to give the Gators first down at the 41-yard line of Northern Illinois. Second quarter action comes up after this timeout on Sports Channel.
Caravan has always been a great place to sit. For the new Caravan, we put a spin on that. Now you can roll the rear seat to where the middle seat goes. You can roll both seats out the back. You can roll the rear seat to the garage. You can roll the middle seat to the garage. You can roll both seats to the garage. You can roll that seat over here. You can roll this seat over there, and back again. Okay, Caravan owners, let's roll. The new Dodge Caravan, just as original as the original.
A wraparound dribble and a layup off the glass.
Established itself at the top of the SEC.
Under the Page, great lead to lay it in.
Wuerffel back to throw and firing. It's a touchdown!
If this is your reality, maybe you need a First Union reality check. The loan that can help you like your reality a whole lot better. First Union introduces the reality check. The hassle-free loan that helps life run a little more smoothly.
We all know who's number one in the SEC. And we know who's number one for Gator fashion apparel. It's the Bull Gator, right across the street from the stadium. If you want the latest in fashion and gift ideas, don't even think of going anywhere else. Right now, the Bull Gator has a new catalog. So call 1-800-GO-SWAMP. Ordering is easy, and you'll love the prices. Don't wait till game day. Order now and be ahead of the crowd. Call 1-800-GO-SWAMP. That's 1-800-GO-SWAMP.
Gator football is also brought to you by AT&T Wireless, providing the products and services from the most trusted name in communications. And Citgo, the sign of quality. There you see some of the fans on hand here in the Swamp. The Gators' homecoming game with Northern Illinois and Florida, 49-point favorite in this one. Gators leading 17-6 as we begin second quarter action, with Florida officially listed as on the 40-yard line, although the ball is touching the 41. Kresser fakes into the line, looks downfield. Travis McGriff tried to break on the ball, couldn't pull it in. Had to trap it, it's incomplete.
That's a timing route, and Kresser underthrows the ball just a bit. Travis McGriff on the nice break to the outside. Looks like he had his feet weren't really set right there as he released the ball. Travis makes a great try to catch the ball, but just got a little bit of grass underneath it.
Yeah, if he'd have gotten away with that one, that would have been a record. Way out away from his body, nothing to shield the officials from seeing that ball. Kresser again fakes into the line, throws wide of the flat and way out of the reach, out of bounds. That'll be 3rd and 10.
Well, you can see him struggling a little bit. We'll talk about Eric Kresser, really seeing the first extensive action in the 95 season, and you would expect him to have a few problems from time to time, but he's really not been on target most recently. And overall, he's 12 of 20, 143 yards right now.
But 4 out of his last 10 for about 40 yards after a good start. So Florida with 3 wide receivers, 4 actually, with Doring in the slot. That's the inside receiver. Kresser throws for Doring and throws high and strong and behind him. And the Gators 3 consecutive poor execution on the pass routes. And let's see what they do from the 40-yard line. It's too long for a field goal.
Doring,
they may go for it.
Doring just split out a little bit from the tight end position right there. Avoids the linebacker. Ball's just thrown behind him. There was a seam right there if they could have gotten the ball into Doring.
And Florida will go for it on 4th down. 17-6 the score. We're 18 seconds into the second quarter. Florida with 4 wide receivers. Kresser again steps up. He could run for it, chooses not to, and throws incomplete. Intended for Kareem. Eric Kresser with 4 straight poor throws on that possession gives the ball back to Northern Illinois.
Well, Kresser just not on target at all right there. Tried to go deep on 4th down. Nice coverage in the secondary by the Huskies. The Gators feeling like a punt would not serve them well in that instance, deciding to go for it on 4th down. Now the Huskies have the ball outside the own 40. The last time they got the ball just outside their own 40, they wound up moving the ball down for a touchdown.
Gators late checking into the lineup. They run the option, but nothing there as the play is dropped for a loss. Lawrence Wright in from strong safety to make the tackle.
It's one of the first times we've mentioned Lawrence Wright's name this afternoon, making the tackle. He had such an excellent game at Georgia between the hedges. Also played well against Auburn. This is really the first open field tackle for Lawrence Wright this afternoon, and he'll get a chance to make a lot more of those if they run that option throughout the afternoon.
The Huskies with 4 yards passing in this ball game. There's George Edmondson, Mr. Two Bits, looking on. Barker looks to throw it deep, sends it up there, and that ball is going to be juggled and incomplete. Strickland and Mike Harris fighting for it, and neither one were able to come away with it.
Well, you thought Ralph Strickland was going to make the catch because he saw the ball before the guys in the secondary for the Gators saw it. Brandon Barker rolls out a little bit, buys himself a little bit more time. You think he's going to make the catch right there? Who was that? Mike Harris, I think. Mike Harris in coverage, just reaching around at the last moment to knock it loose. You thought Strickland had the position on Harris to make the catch, but Mike Harris denies it.
On 3rd down, the quick option. Mitchell hit at the 45, and he'll be dropped short of the 1st down. Shea Showers, Anthony Lott in there defensively. And the Gator defense comes up and forces a 3 and out as Northern Illinois, you would assume, would punt it away on 4th and about 5. Anthony came out of the game earlier shaking his arm, but apparently he's fine.
Gator defense stiffening right there. Even though the Huskies had good field position, they did not move the chains at all, and out comes Dobeda to punt it away.
Florida with a decent rush, but Dobay steps over to the left to get away from it. The ball bounces at the 15, down to the 10, and all the way down to the goal line, and that's a touchback because his rump's in the end zone. Let's see.
Well, I guess they're saying his knees and the ball were on the 1 foot line, though, Larry.
Ooh,
these kids are so big, it's hard to fall on the 1 yard line and not get part of your body on that goal line.
If he touches the goal line, he becomes part of the end zone, and he can no longer down it.
But which part does he touch first? Let's see. Does he goes down right there and then slides into the, well, it was close. I figure, hey, these guys are 40-point underdogs. We'll give them that one.
Ends up being a great kick, a 54-yarder with no return. And the Florida Gators will have the ball all the way back at the 1 yard line with a game that has settled into a closer match than many had expected. We have timeout on the field. The 15-6. We'll be right back.
Discover the amazing training secrets of America's finest baseball school with Dynamic Practice Organization, a revolutionary new instructional videotape. Dynamic Practice Organization features professional scout and instructor Tommy Mansky with his famous building block approach to athletic training. This exciting instructional videotape features the same drills, techniques, and methods that have produced baseball world's back-to-back-to-back AAU national championship teams. Dynamic Practice Organization makes any coach look like a genius and organizes offensive and defensive practices that players of all ages and ability levels can't wait to attend. And immensely improves team communication skills and even conditioning. This is the instructional video that's a winner. To order your copy for only $29.95, have your credit card ready and call toll-free, 1-800-282-5020. The Dynamic Practice Organization teaching video makes a great gift, too. Call now, 1-800-282-5020.
Florida comes out with a fullback and tailback in the game. Jerome Evans, fullback from Arcadia DeSoto. They'll throw out of the end zone. Kresser wants 99 yards. He'll settle for almost giving up 6 as that ball was thrown into the wide flat, and Orlando Peterson almost intercepted for the Huskies of Northern Illinois. Let's go back down to Steve.
Ed Chester was not in last defensive series. Number 94 has a strained left Achilles heel, and he'll be out for a little bit. Also, an update on Riedel Anthony. His knee is starting to bother him a little bit. They've got it iced down, so you will not see Riedel Anthony in the game.
All right, Florida banged up in this homecoming affair. On 2nd and 10, Eli Williams gets him out 6, maybe 7. And Florida will have them mark it at the 8-yard line, so give him 7. It'll be 3rd and 3. First carry from scrimmage for Elijah Williams, although he has caught a touchdown pass today.
Really, is that just his first carry? I know he started the game this afternoon, and Eli, multi-talented, coming out of the backfield, running or catching the ball.
Officials are huddled together. I did not see a flag on the play, but there must have been one somewhere. Must not be overly simple to figure it out. Mac Gentry, the referee, and the rest of his officiating crew working this afternoon's ball game.
After the play, dead ball, personal foul, offense, half a distance, 3rd down.
Dead ball, personal foul on the offense. Someone grabbed a face mask. So they'll mark it down inside the 5-yard line, and the Gators will have 3rd and about 7.5 yards to go.
Evidently, one of the offensive linemen got a little rough after the whistle. That's, again, a mental error. You can't afford to make those. Got to have your poise out there.
Huskies show blitz, but they're not coming. Kresser with time throws over the middle. He's got his man. Out in the open field is Jaquez Green. Jaquez Green down the left sideline. One man to beat, and Quez beats him. Touchdown, Florida. Whoa!
Patrick Stephen, number 43, had a desperation chance to stop Quez Green, but wasn't able to knock him off his pins. What great speed in the open field will do for you is shown right there. Quez Green on the drag route. The protection allows Eric Kresser the chance to wait for Quez Green to drag across the field. You see the safety right there was not in position to make the play, and once Quez Green hit the open field, he was on his way until right here, and that's a great effort by number 43, Patrick Stephen, but he just couldn't knock him down.
So the Florida Gators have been kind of stymied of late, get a 96-yard completion. It's not the longest in school history, but it's pretty darn close to it.
Yeah, I think 99 yards is the longest. I think there's a tie for 3 combinations for 99 yards, but he'll take 96. Is that what we're calling it?
96 yards for Jaquez Green.
Quez Green with the great speed that you need in the open field to finish off a big play like this. And Eric Kresser, whose job was a little bit easier right there after he released the ball, says, hey, we'll take it.
And the Gators take an 18-point lead with still 11:53 to go in the first half in Gainesville.
You build a winning tradition on great talent. And that's why we've recruited Brian to be the official hot dog of the Florida Gators. For over 60 years, they've built a winning tradition with the flavor of the South, that distinctive hickory smoke taste that makes them top dog around here. In fact, Brian is the only dog you'll find in the swamp, with the possible exception of an occasional bulldog. Brian, the official hot dog of the Florida Gators.
Gator fans, catch all the action of America's most exciting team in their official video, Gator Football, second to none. In '94, the Gators successfully defended their SEC conference title and earned another berth in the Sugar Bowl. The University of Florida Gators were truly second to none. Call the Gator hotline at 1-800-538-2666 for this action-packed video and the complete Gator video series. That's 1-800-538-2666.
And now let's make that random call with today's $10,000 question. Who shot Alexander Hamilton in that famous duel?
Hello, for $10,000. Excuse me? Oh, I'm sorry. Your time is up.
Danny. Well, the Florida Gators' longest touchdown completion was thrown by Chris Collinsworth many, many years ago to another guy who played in the NFL, Derek Gaffney, who played with the New York Jets. It was a 99-yarder. Kresser and Green settled for 96 yards on their touchdown pass as the Gators kick off. And you don't see too many drives like that, do you, Jim? 3 plays, 99 yards, took about a minute.
But I tell you, the guys that love a drive like that most are your offensive linemen. 3 plays, 99 yards, they say, thank you very much, we're heading for the Gatorade stand. We understand that Danny Wuerffel's longest pass for a touchdown ever, Larry, is 73 yards. So that's one stat that Mr. Kresser has over Danny Wuerffel right now.
Look at the passing yardage. Northern Illinois with just 4 yards in the air. Talent tries the middle of the line and gets 3. That's 73 for Danny Wuerffel, his best regular season completion, his longest career completion, an 82-yarder to Ike Hilliard in last year's Sugar Bowl game against the Seminoles of Florida State. Let's get another update from Steve Babick. Steve?
Well, not surprisingly, the Husky game plan is shorten the game by using as much as the 25-second clock. They've been doing that. In fact, on the last punt, they waited to send their punt team out there, and then they ran the clock down to 1 second to get the punt off. Watch the offense, too. They're waiting for the play clock to get there 10 seconds before they go.
Well, they should have waited a few more seconds to snap that one. The option goes awry and ends up being a loss of about 12 or 13 yards.
Well, Freddie Weary's all over this play. There's the pitch. You see the blocking attempt out there, but obviously when the ball is fumbled, it gives Weary even a better chance to make the play. The corner on that side, forcing the play back towards the middle where the swarming Gator defense can finish it off.
Cameron Davis into the game for the Gators at the left defensive end position. Church, Campbell, and Barnard. The rest of the starting defensive line is in there. Demetric Jackson is checked in at the safety spot. Flag on the play. That'll be a clip. The Gators will decline as the quarterback sack is registered by Johnny Church.
Yeah, it was Cameron Davis gets hit below the waistline. You can't block below the waist, especially if you come from the outside in. That used to be what they called the old chop block that ruined a lot of defensive ends' careers and was outlawed long time ago. It was an inadvertent hit from the wide receiver, but that's exactly what happened.
Nope. He was not 7 yards out. He came back on the crackback. Disregard.
All right, so the rule says to the left of your screen, you got to be out further than this young fellow was. Oh, my goodness. But he still should hit him in the head instead of in the knee. That's the way the block is supposed to be made.
Well, if he'd have hit me in the knee like that, I'd have hit him in the head, I promise. If that's not illegal, it ought to be. They wave off the flag, but it doesn't matter. The Gators would have declined anyway.
Yeah, it was the letter of the law right there. Was the intent of the law was right. The letter of the law they didn't break.
There's the punt. It's a wobbler. Jaquez Green fields it at midfield. Quez steps around a couple of guys, got around one, but couldn't get around the second coverage man, who was Periamu, a backup strong safety for the Huskies. 47 on the kick, a 3-yard return, and the Gators are set up at the 46 of Northern Illinois. The third time Florida has started a possession in Husky territory. And Jim, when you play this Gator offense, one thing you desperately want to do is make them go 70 and 80 yards, not 40 or 50.
Yeah, it's really a big problem for the Huskies right now. Field position really in the favor of the Florida Gators, and they're taking every advantage of it.
Florida runs the draw. Elijah Williams 40. Eli to the 35, the 30. Elijah Williams out of bounds at about the 24-yard line as Eli goes for 22 on the opening play of this drive. William Triplett runs him out of bounds.
Eli Williams, just the outstanding scat back of the Gator fun and gun offense. Let's see, Eli with 437 yards prior to this afternoon, and now the update, 433. Actually, 433 coming into the day.
Kresser steps up, throws. Tremaine Allen at the 3. Tremaine makes the lunging catch, just his third of the year, and the Gators have a 1st and goal. But those poor tight ends, Jim, they just can't get into the end zone. Sean Nunn against Georgia caught one down close.
Well, they might give them another chance now that they're close against. Tremaine Allen leaping, grabbing. Yeah, that's the knock that most of the wide receivers will put on a tight end. They said, yeah, you'll catch it every once in a while, but then you'll fall down as soon as you catch it. You can't run with it.
Tremaine did tackle himself that time. Williams, did he get in? No signal, apparently just shy of the goal line. It'll be 2nd and goal from inches short of the Northern Illinois end zone. Elijah Williams in this game, 3 carries now for 34 yards.
See big Jeff Mitchell right there, the center. Nice effort by Steve Smith, number 51 at the interior for the Huskies. He's really responsible for denying that touchdown. Steve Smith doing a nice job all afternoon at inside linebacker for the Huskies.
9 minutes to play, first half. Florida trying to get in the end zone for the 4th time today. Kresser on the bootleg, flips it out, touchdown! It's Dwayne Mobley, a Florida fullback, catching a touchdown pass.
Well, let's see. In scoring, Mobley has not had a touchdown at all this year, much less a touchdown pass. They sneak him out of the backfield here. A little bit of a crossbuck action in the backfield. The tailback going left, Mobley going right, and there's nobody out there.
Jim, that might be the first touchdown for a Florida fullback since the '93 LSU game.
My goodness.
No Florida fullbacks has scored this year and no Florida fullback scored at all last year, either running or receiving. Flag on the play. There may be a dozen of those Huskies out there. The extra point is good, but let's wait and see what the violation is. It was thrown by the two guys under the goalposts, and I'm not sure what else they'd have been doing other than counting bodies.
Illegal participation on the defense. Kick is good. Carries over to the kickoff. 15-yard penalty.
It's a major penalty because all 12 participated in the play. If one of them's just running off the field, it is a 5-yard penalty. So the Gators will kick off at midfield, leading 31-6 when we return to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium at Florida Field after these words on Sports Channel.
Imagine playing some of the world's most historic golf courses in picturesque Scotland. This spring, you're invited to join Coach Spurrier and his wife Jerry as they host an 8-day, 7-night, once-in-a-lifetime golf getaway. You'll play all the famous courses, including Old Course, Royal Troon, and Old Prestwick, limited to just 20 golfers.
My wife Jerry and I hope you can join us on this magnificent golf trip to Scotland. Call now for more information.
1-800-468-0051, extension 231, sponsored by Pro Golf Discount and Coonan Golf Clubs.
The preceding arguments for sliding doors on both sides were brought to you courtesy of the new Dodge Caravan. Just as original as the original.
Hi, I'm University of Florida President John Lombardi, here with head football coach Steve Spurrier. As Gators, we can all be proud of the success of our student athletes. In order for the Gators to continue to strive for excellence, a continuous effort to comply with NCAA rules must be made by our boosters, alumni, and coaches.
Dr. Lombardi is absolutely right. It is important for all Gators to comply with the NCAA rules. If you have any questions regarding the rules, please contact our athletic department.
Remember, ask before you act.
Eric Kresser getting the start here at homecoming. Last year at homecoming, Kresser had a big game against Southern Mississippi, throwing for 309 yards and 3 touchdowns. That 46-yard drive ending in a touchdown pass for Kresser, which now gives him 4 TD passes in the first half, 261 yards. Put him on the Heisman list, huh, Jim?
Well, he's excited to have his chance, certainly under beautiful conditions like we have in the swamp today. And Kresser, the junior, who's been playing the backup role with a lot of grace, gets his chance this afternoon.
Matt Teague tries to drop it near the goal line, but he kicks it too strong, and the Gators cannot take advantage of the midfield kickoff to pin the Huskies any deeper than the 20-yard line. So that's where Northern Illinois will start out with 8:51 to go in the second quarter, and the Gators already having 31 points on the board. I tell you, in the second half, we'll probably see a lot of Brian Schottenheimer, who will get his first extended playing time of his collegiate career here at the University of Florida. Schotty down there on the bench sitting alongside Danny Wuerffel, both wearing baseball caps. Spinning into the line and not getting anywhere as Talley might have gotten a yard.
Well, after the Huskies got that rushing touchdown the last couple of series, the Gator defense has really played with much more aggression and denying the Huskies really any success at all. We talked about the anemic passing numbers that the Huskies have had, but that rushing defense is coming on much stronger for the Gators right now. Mark Campbell, Jason Bartley, Ben Hanks getting over there. A lot of orange hats. Big Mark Campbell doing a beautiful job at defensive tackle, really his natural position.
Ed Chester also back in. Tim Beauchamp is in, and Beauchamp gets the quarterback sack. And Timmy Beauchamp is going to be a whale of a football player, a true freshman, converting from a linebacker in high school to a defensive end as a true freshman out of New Smyrna Beach High School.
Well, he's listed at 6'2", which you think is rather small for a defensive end, but that's not really true. It gives him a chance to have a greater impact with his leverage as he can work underneath Actually, he's listed at 6'3" right there, but Timmy Beauchamp gets his first sack of his Gator career from the defensive end position.
On the option, the quarterback gets popped. There's a flag, and we've got a false start. And poor Mr. Barker really took a shot that time. Clean hit. The whistle had not blown, and Willie Rogers coming in from his end spot, and that's what you do on the option. You hit the quarterback.
Dead ball, false start, off hit, 5 yards, 3rd down.
Now the offensive coaches along the sideline discouraged with what they're seeing right now. Actually, midway through the second quarter, I was going to say late in the second quarter, but it's actually 7:27 left here in the second quarter. Larry, you'll recall in 1991, the last time the Gators played Northern Illinois at halftime, they had a 28-0 lead, and Shane Matthews was the quarterback, and Eric Rett was running the football out of the backfield. But this offensive this afternoon, even more productive.
On the option, Talley gets to the 15-yard line, and that's where the Huskies will have to punt it back to the prolific Florida Gator offense. It was Mitchell, rather, Deion Mitchell on the carry, my mistake. James Bates in on the tackle for the Gators, along with several of his teammates.
Well, 3 and out. Here they go again. Actually, they had another chance with the penalty, but the Huskies just getting nothing done most recently here on offense, and the Gator defense continues to improve, to stiffen. And there you see James Bates talking to Jim Collins along the sideline about his instructions.
Got Quez Green again back for Florida. Pretty good rush. They don't get to it. Quez signals fair catch, makes it at the 50-yard line. And that's where things will start for the Florida Gators, right at the midfield stripe with 6 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in the first half. Next week, the Gators will be up in Columbia, South Carolina to take on the Gamecocks. South Carolina's offense has had some prolific performances this year, although their defense has not been able to stop too many people. They're coming off a big loss to Tennessee by a 56-21 count. If the Gators beat South Carolina, they will clinch the SEC Eastern Division title and a spot in the conference championship game in Atlanta.
Yeah, we want to go back to that one, don't we? The Georgia Dome.
Hand back play. Quez Green is deep, but the ball's underthrown and intercepted by Garifo. Garifo to the 40, and he'll be run out of bounds at about the 42 or 43-yard line. Eric Kresser under pressure gets the ball thrown, just a jump ball up in the air, and it's intercepted by Garifo.
Well, we talked about Steve Smith a little while ago in his excellent play, and he continues to excel right here, right in the face of Eric Kresser. He hits him just as the ball's being released, and it comes up well short of Nafis Kareem. Quez Green was the intended receiver, but that was not Kresser's fault at all. We didn't see who Smith beat on that play, but Steve Smith responsible for that interception.
There's Talley running left side, and he might have tripped over the foot of one of his blockers and goes down at the line of scrimmage. Bill Wise is playing tight end. He is actually an offensive tackle. You got to get a look at number 7, the tight end for Northern Illinois, because he is not exactly built like a tight end. Where's Bill Wise? We got to get him in there. There you see the numbers on Talley, 85 yards. There's Bill Wise, 6'3", 294. He's an offensive tackle, put on the number of his teammate in order to play the tight end spot. Talley goes through traffic, loses the ball. It's still loose. And it appears that the Gators have it at the 46-yard line.
Tico Brown, the youngster's got his first start against the Georgia Bulldogs, comes out and jumps on that fumble. Not sure who caused it. Maybe Eddie Chester, we think. Let's see if we can see who rips the ball out. There's Eddie Chester. He gets the arm out. Oh, his own man. Actually, his own man from the Ben Hanks. Ben Hanks was fighting off the block, created a wall of resistance right there, and the ball pops up for the Gators.
So Florida at the 46-yard line, first down with 5:18 to play in the first half. 31-6 our score. Gators run the draw. Jackson gets outside, cuts it in at the 50, and he's down to the 41 of the Huskies. A 13-yard pickup for Terry Jackson. Dwayne Hawthorne ends up making the tackle for the Huskies. The Florida Gators, one of the top teams in the country, one of 3 unbeatens in major college Division I football, and you look at some of the highlights, the last 2 games, 101 points on the road.
62 points, most ever against the Volunteers by an SEC opponent. More points scored at Athens than any opponent had ever scored. The Gators just prolific on offense.
Kresser throws it behind Doring. And Chris could not reach back and pull it in. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Nice protection, allowing Kresser to step up. He's just off target right there. That's a tough pass to complete with the wide receiver coming across the grain like that. You got to lead him properly right there, but the ball was a bit behind Doring. Chris getting a bit testy right there with one of the defenders.
Got a little shove he didn't think he deserved, so he gave one back. Florida runs it. There's Elijah Williams. Eli spins his way forward, very close to 1st down yardage at the 31. Looked like he was going to be stopped short, but he kept those feet moving. Aldero Jones out of Seaside, California, makes the tackle.
Mobley with the great block. Look at Mobley, the block on the inside linebacker right there. Oh, I'm sorry, Jerome Evans. That was Evans in right now for Mobley.
3rd down and short. You got to remember your homie from DeSoto, Arcadia. Nothing there, right up the gut, and stopping the play was big nose guard Hollis Thomas. He's out of St. Louis, and it looks like the Gators may be about a half yard, maybe a little less than a half yard shy of a 1st down on 4th and short at the 31-yard line as we go inside 4 minutes to play 1st half.
Oh, Chris Doring came off the field there. He's injured. Maybe one of his fingers was dislocated or something. He's in great pain right now on the Gator bench.
Elijah Williams has the 1st down and more down to the 23-yard line. So the left side of the Florida offensive line gets the job done as Odom and Reggie Green clear out the defense and make some running room to the outside. Doring gets some attention from the Florida medical staff. Dr. Richard Shara with his back to you. Keaton Delicato, Chris Patrick.
You can't tell if it's his shoulder or one of his fingers, but something's really bothering him.
Kresser back to throw from the 23-yard line. Wide open, Jaquez Green. Quez to the 5. What's the call? You make the call. Out of bounds just short of the goal line.
Well, all the fans on the east side think he got it. Thinks he just steps in underneath the pylon right there at the goal line. Wide open is a breakdown in coverage right here along the sideline. The linebacker's not able to get out there. There's no corner there. Does he get in? Not out of bounds. Not out of bounds.
Oh, that's a touchdown.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked like looks like his ball and the hip broke the imaginary plane right there. If that had been a pane of glass, I guarantee it would have been shattered. Right? And that's all it takes.
And Northern Illinois calls timeout with 3:12 to go. Yeah, I think Quez got in on that one. It would have been his 2nd receiving touchdown of the half and his 3rd of the season, but he comes up a little short. Let's get another look and see if he gets that ball across the plane.
Oh, I think his underneath foot is on the sideline. His left foot is on the sideline, it seems. I guess that was the call before he broke the plane. I think they are saying he broke the plane, but he stepped out of bounds first.
Just depends on how much of that foot he pushed down on. The toe was obviously in, but the ball of the foot might have touched the line. Oh, well. Jaquez doesn't get the score. Always root for those freshmen to get in there, but maybe the Gators will give the ball, let a fullback score again.
Yeah, give it to Jerome Evans. Let him score this time.
You'll see the homecoming crowd with orange and blue hollering back and forth. Beautiful day here in Gainesville. It was not all that great yesterday weather-wise. Some rain and Very humid, but the front came through. It is cool and breezy and about 72 degrees. Just great weather for football.
Yeah, we've not had enough of these days. The last couple of falls have been having a lot of rain over the last couple of years, so it's great to see a day like this.
Jerome Evans, he got it. All right.
Nice call, Larry. Nice call.
From Arcadia DeSoto, he is on the scoreboard. He's in the record books. Jerome Evans with his first Gator score.
Now we saw Mobley come out of the backfield catching his first touchdown pass ever. This time, Jerome Evans is the only back in the backfield. Untouched. Tremaine Allen with a nice block at the point of attack. There's Steve Smith continuing to fight at the interior.
I tell you, these high-scoring games will put you to sleep, won't they? That's the best seat in the house. Matt Teague gets the extra point blocked. And the Huskies recover, try to run with it, but the tackle is made. Horace Ross, Jerome Evans.
That play seemed to be run in slow motion. The ball was snapped, and there was no movement by the kicking unit right there after the ball was snapped.
It seemed like the ball was just kicked right into the pile. Jerome now has to go play defense, make a tackle. Attaboy.
That was a strange play. That wasn't Edmonston, huh? Who was kicking there? That was Teague got his chance, but
Matt Teague's first extra point attempt goes right into the offensive line. So we may see Bart next go round. 37-6, the Gators down coming in Gainesville.
I still enjoy going to work in the morning.
Nothing like that feeling.
It's worth every penny of my own business.
That's your own business. I enjoy it. I feel strong.
It's a great feeling.
When it's your business, you put your heart and soul into every decision.
I basically dictate my fate.
Confident flexibility that you have.
So consider this one. The corporate card from American Express.
It's me, that's a sign of success.
The card that helps you manage smarter.
Call now and we'll take your application right over the phone.
Now, small businesses save 3% on mobile gasoline.
That's a plus.
And get discounts on car rentals, hotels, and UPS overnight shipping. Accident disability insurance at no extra cost. And detailed monthly and quarterly reports to maintain control.
The rewards are wonderful.
See how the corporate card gives you what it gives over 1 million small businesses. The freedom to do what you do best.
It's easy to apply for the corporate card.
Call 1-800-SUCCESS.
The best card to have.
You'll soon remember why you started your own business in the first place.
You obviously have to love what you're doing.
Hi, I'm Ann Ligori. One of my favorite parts of Sports Interview is the interview, getting the personalities to open up about themselves. You'll see that there's more to these athletes than RBIs and touchdowns.
I told it to the people I needed to tell it to. I don't have to tell it to you. It's not going to get me in the Hall of Fame.
I'm probably one of the only athletes in L.A. that says he doesn't want to go join the golf tour and doesn't want to be an actor.
Football put me here. The football will get me out.
So look for us each week on Sharp Sports Interview.
Well, it was 17-6 after Northern Illinois scored on a 55-yard run by Talley, but the Gators have scored 20 unanswered points to take a 31-point lead in this ball game. Matt Teague will do a little short pooch punt, and it's fielded by a linebacker, making the grab for the Huskies. Darren Lloyd, a junior out of St. Paul, Minnesota. I'm afraid to do this, but they tell us we have to get an update from Steve Babick, but I'm sort of reluctant, but I guess we ought to, huh? Okay, what do you got?
Well, first of all, Terry Jackson, a right ankle sprain. Chris Dorian, bruised right shoulder, but both of those guys not bad enough to keep them out. But I think, come second half, you better have that expanded roster ready.
It'll be like the orange and blue game, won't it? I tell you, as long as none of them are healthy, or none of the injuries, rather, are serious, I guess that's okay. Talley, who's going to be a sore youngster by the end of the day, goes up the middle. James Bates makes the tackle for the Gators defensively, gain of about 5. The Huskies, less than 3 minutes to go here in the first half, following a 54-yard scoring drive for the Gators. Great to see Dwayne Mobley and Jerome Evans get into the end zone. Happy for those kids. Now, if a tight end can catch a scoring pass, it'll be an all-around good day. Second down, Barker gives to Talley again. That's their big play. There's a flag by the umpire. You know what that's going to be, as Johnny Church was being do-si-doed around the 45-yard line, and the flag was thrown on the left tackle, Jamie McDonald. And that will come back.
McDonald, a big kid at 6'5", 308 out of Peterborough, Ontario. He's one of those Canadians you were talking about.
14 on the squad.
Offense, 10 yards, for the foul, second down.
Look to the left of your screen. Not sure. Whoa. We can't tell. There's a lot of guys over there. It might have been
it was
left
McDonald.
tackle McDonald.
Yeah, you were right, Jim. It was Jamie McDonald. He just bear hugged and dragged Johnny Church down. So from the 34-yard line, second down and long, the Huskies reluctant to throw. They've completed one pass for 4 yards. And that one's batted down by Mark Campbell. They tried to set up the screen to Talley. Campbell batted it down. Lawrence Wright and Ed Chester were both over with good coverage on the screen anyway.
Now, Mark Campbell's one of those seniors playing in his last ever homecoming here in the Swamp. Out of Miami, Campbell, again, just so impressive, I think, at the defensive tackle position. That's really a luxury that the Gators will have. If Keith Council can get healthy, they're going to be even stronger in the interior. Got the quicker guys on the outside. Johnny Church, Tim Beauchamp, those guys have a little bit more quickness playing on the outside.
On third down, rolling out Barker, he rolls, he gets popped by Bates as he throws incomplete. And that was quite a shot James Bates was able to put on Barker. Ben Hanks on the coverage for the Gators. And it'll be fourth down, and Florida will have time to try to do something offensively in the last 2 minutes of this first half.
Well, the Huskies in all kinds of trouble here with their inability to throw the football. They're just having all kinds of problems. There you see Hanks breaking on the pass, but the Huskies with only one completion this afternoon.
They've got 5 wide guys spread. Now they'll go back into their normal punt formation since the Gators didn't spread out with them and would have had a clear shot at the punter. Fourth down, they need about 18 yards. Not a good time for a fake. Jacquez Green watches that punt go over his head. He fields it at the 10-yard line, makes the first man miss. Quez comes upfield to the 20, looks for a block to the outside, and will be run out of bounds at the 26-yard line. A terrific punt of 55 yards, a 16-yard return, and a flag is thrown in late as a body went into the pile at about the 32-yard line after Green had been run out of bounds. Let's see who initiated the contact. That'll be a 15-yarder on somebody.
Now, Dobey's just done a beautiful job punting all afternoon for the Huskies. He's one of their bright spots, certainly.
On the run back, 10 yards from the end of the run, first down 10.
So it's not a late hit, just a block in the back, and that's, again, a mental mistake. You're talking about a block 8-10 yards away from the play as the guy's going out of bounds, Jim. But
how far was that punt, Larry, by Dobey? That was
55.
Well, that was a beautiful one, a boomer. That helps his team, certainly, because you put the Gators back on the 15-yard line, make them have to go a lot further to score. The punting game's so important to a beleaguered defense.
Gators try the middle screen, and there are blockers there for Eli Williams. Williams to the 30. Williams to the 40. Williams run out of bounds, but a flag on the play at the 38-yard line, as flags are being thrown very regularly in this ball game, and that's probably someone trying to throw a block.
Illegal block against the offense, 10 yards, for the foul, first down.
The ball will be marked from the 38 back to the 28. So it ends up being about a 23-yard completion and a 10-yard penalty on the Gators.
Yeah, Donnie Young gets out in front of Eli Williams. Eli's going to give him a little push. Says, Donnie, move, go. Hey, there you go. Donnie just puts him on the jet right there, runs out of the screen. Donnie Young, not the guy that had the penalty flag thrown. Somebody way beyond the action, behind the action.
Chris Doring is back in the ball game. That's good to see. He had that bruised shoulder, as Steve had mentioned. Doring on that route, and good coverage all the way, was offered by Northern Illinois. It was Dwayne Hawthorne, stride for stride with Doring. Second down with 1:22 to go in the half.
They see the ball popping up. Derek Nepomniachtchi
on second down and 10. Kresser a little too strong for Nafis Kareem, who was open in the corner route. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 10.
Well, he has possession of the ball till he hits the ground, and then it's the concussion and the impact with the ground that causes the ball to pop up. Pretty good half here, 17 of 31, 305 yards, my goodness, and most of it on that 96-yard touchdown pass.
Well, that'll add your yards up in a hurry when you can hit one of those.
Help your average per completion too, won't it?
Gators on 3rd and 10, a double tight end. 8 guys in coverage, only 3 guys in the route, and you can't go very far that way. It's 4th down. Florida sent 2 receivers out there, about 6 defensive backs going with those 2 guys, and the running back snuck out, but too much coverage there as well, and nothing Florida could do. It's 4th down and about 4 from the 34-yard line.
Yeah, Coach Spurrier very discouraged with how that play evolved. Certainly, he says, guys, we got better ball plays than that. We could have picked up that conversion.
Robbie Stevenson into the game for the first time. And the freshman hits a driving kick that'll be fielded at the 25-yard line. Moody comes upfield, jumps one tackler, and then is driven backwards. Loose ball, let's see the call. Florida fell on it. Is he down or not? And now the officials mark him at the 40-yard line. It will be Northern Illinois ball with 20 seconds to go.
Xavier McCray, number 46, is the guy that makes the picture-perfect tackle. But she's going to come out of nowhere right in the middle of your screen. Boom. Now the whistle blows. Yeah, the ball's down, I think, or the play's over. Beautiful hit by McCray.
Now let's see if they throw a deep ball here. They got to go 60 yards in just a couple of plays. They run the hook and ladder play, and the ladder has a couple of defective rungs. There is a flag thrown at about the 50-yard line. They have had a receiver push off.
Now that play had a chance if it had been timed just a little bit better. The hook is the hook route, and then the ladder is when the wide receiver runs around and takes the pitch.
Illegal. Forward pass.
I say the
5 yards
the pitch was forward.
Loss of down.
And so it's a double pass, which is not legal.
Well, let's see if we can see the catches made at the 50.
That's awfully close.
Yeah. Look.
So with 10 seconds to go, clock running, that will be the end of the first half of homecoming at the University of Florida, where the Gator football team ranked 3rd in the nation. Let's see, they got one off. I'll be darned. Didn't look like they had a chance, but another flag. Guys, put the hankies in your pockets. No one came to watch you throw them. They were still in the huddle with 7 seconds to go, and they came up and hustled so they could run that play, but it was an offensive holding call against the Huskies. And as a result, we are indeed at halftime, as I said we were, with a score of 37-6. Back with our halftime from the Swamp in Gainesville. After this timeout, you're watching Florida Gator football on Sports Channel.
Some people can't afford to worry about the fuel in their tank. And when it comes to consistency and quality, their demands are among the toughest in the world. That's why most major domestic and international airlines depend on Citgo. And with more than 13,000 locations across America, you can depend on Citgo too. Citgo, the sign of quality.
Hey, can I window shop?
Window shop? Houses?
Quick peek.
The house of your dreams can be a reality.
I really like that.
That's what a First Union reality check is all about. Giving you the mortgage loan.
But I got another one I like better over here.
So you can move in. Because you've decided the one thing your second home must have is wheels. First Union introduces the reality check. The hassle-free loan that can make reality a beautiful place to be.
Well, the Florida football team scored the first 17 points, and after Northern Illinois put 6 on the board, 20 unanswered points for the Gators to get us where we are at halftime with a score of Florida 37 and Northern Illinois 6 on a beautiful homecoming Saturday at the University of Florida. And now let's get the latest news and what's happening on the University of Florida campus.
Nearing 40 years of research, everyone benefits from the University of Florida Health Science Center. And available just this year, a saliva-based HIV test for personal use and an eye drop to treat glaucoma. The Health Science Center at the University of Florida, where caring and commitment combine for quality education and health.
Joining us now at halftime is a gentleman who really needs very little introduction to fans of the University of Florida, Dr. Bob Bryan, longtime provost of the university, served a stint as interim president, and his time at the university dates back to 1957. Dr. Bryan, a pleasure to see you again, sir.
Good to be here.
One of the major things you had to do as interim president was preside over the selection of a football coach. How do you think you did?
So far, I think I did absolutely magnificently.
Steve Spurrier has done great things here at the University of Florida, and you've seen a lot of coaches, a lot of years, a lot of homecomings. This is the 39th homecoming weekend. What stands out when you think about this university and homecoming weekend and what it's all about?
Well, over the years, obviously, homecoming has gotten bigger, I think better, more high-tech. The parades are enormous now. The Gator Growl has become a high-tech show that I think is one of the best in the country. 15, 20 years ago, local people used to be the people who were masters of ceremony. Now we have nationally known entertainers, Bill Cosby, Bob Hope back a long time ago. So things have become much bigger than they were.
Dr. Bryan, talk a little bit about the perspective of the University of Florida. Those of us here have our own view, but you travel the country and consult with other universities. How does the University of Florida stack up?
Oh, we stack up very well, I think. We've got to remember, first of all, that we are a member, an elected member of the Association of American Universities. We're one of 56 elite universities. I think that in terms of how we stack up among the top 20, that our name is in that list.
That's a great list to be in. The future, I guess, just couldn't be better for this university.
Well, if we continue, if we can gain the support of the state in terms of its subsidy to the university, if we can continue to do as well as we have done in our donations and our outside private support, the horizons are unlimited. They really are.
Dr. Bryan, always a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you.
Dr. Bob Bryan, our guest here at halftime. We'll be back with more of our halftime after this timeout. You're watching the Florida Gators on Sports.
I've got some startling news for you about your life insurance. Many people don't know it, but the premiums for the same coverage can differ widely from company to company, and you could save hundreds, even thousands of dollars by shopping around. Well, there's an organization called Best Quote that will do the shopping for you for free. They compare rates from over 150 of the country's highest-rated insurance companies. They'll send you a free, no-obligation comparison of the 5 policies that have the best value for you. A 35-year-old non-smoking male can get $250,000 worth of coverage for less than $15 a month. At age 45, it would still be less than $19 a month for that same policy. Call Best Quote now for your free comparison. This is information you should have, and remember, it's free.
Best Quote's 24-hour toll-free number is 1-800-410-4334. That's 1-800-410-4334.
Hi, I'm Ann Ligori. One of my favorite parts of Sports Interview is the interview, getting the personalities to open up about themselves. You'll see that there's more to these athletes than RBIs and touchdowns.
I told it to the people I needed to tell it to. I don't have to tell it to you. It's not going to get me in the Hall of Fame.
I'm probably one of the only athletes in LA that says he doesn't want to go join the golf tour and doesn't want to be an actor.
Football put me here, but football will get me out.
So look for us each week on Sharp Sports Interview.
Well, the undefeated Florida Gators, heavy favorites against Northern Illinois. No surprise here at halftime as the Gators lead by a score of 37-6. Welcome back to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. Larry Vittel with Jim Yarborough. Jim, really no surprises in the first half. Florida clearly a superior team and in control of this ball game.
Absolutely, Larry. You know, the Washington Huskies would have had problems coming here playing the Gators in the swamp. Northern Illinois Huskies really have big problems, and the Gators have jumped out to a huge lead.
Florida scored on its very first possession of the ball game. Let's check out the first half highlights. Eric Kresser throws deep for a running back.
Well, Eric Kresser getting his first real test of the season. Danny Wuerffel had been the guy, the trigger guy, but this time Eli Williams with a one-handed grab. What a beautiful catch along the goal line by Eli Williams.
Florida's second possession and a familiar target, catching touchdown pass number 12 this year.
Mr. Chris Doring, this guy gets in the end zone more often than any Gator player. And you see him here easily catching the fade pass from Kresser.
A later Florida field goal made it 17-0, and then the Huskies get the offense going with that tailback we talked about at the beginning, Robert Talley.
Well, Talley already has over 100 yards rushing for the Huskies, and you see him here with a great effort. Tico Brown's going to come out of nowhere and try and make the hit, but Charles Talley, just with great speed and effort, gets the Huskies their first score and only score of the ball game.
And with the score 17-6, the Gators pinned deep in their own territory. Florida was facing a 3rd down and 7 from the 4-yard line when Kresser connects with freshman Jaquez Green.
Quez Green, the young man that made such a splash against Ole Miss earlier in the year in his first extensive duty, comes back this afternoon at homecoming and sprints down the field for 96 yards, I guess we're calling this one. Eric Kresser, probably the more excited of the whole Gator fun and gun offense with that reception, because that'll make some big numbers for him.
And now the Florida Gators get the fullback into the offense. First, Dwayne Mobley as a receiver.
Well, we talked about the fullbacks rarely carrying or catching the ball, and certainly rarely getting into the end zone, but the first fullback in the end zone for the Gators this afternoon was Mobley.
And the second is Jerome Evans.
Jerome Evans out of Arcadia DeSoto. Both these fullbacks do yeoman's work as blockers for the tailbacks, but this afternoon a little bit of glory.
Checking the game by the numbers, and you see Florida over 400 yards of total offense.
Just huge numbers again by this prolific offense. The Huskies with only 124 yards, but we mentioned that Talley does have over 100 yards rushing himself, but really they need rushing yardage because they've got absolutely nothing in the air game, only 10 yards passing, and you don't see how they could possibly come back to any extent this afternoon against the Gators unless they throw the football.
And for people who really like time of possession as a critical stat, this is not the game to utilize that argument at all. 37-6 our score, back with the second half kickoff after this timeout on Sports Channel.
Discover the amazing training secrets of America's finest baseball school with Dynamic Practice Organization, a revolutionary new instructional videotape. Dynamic Practice Organization features professional scout and instructor Tommy Mansky with his famous building block approach to athletic training. This exciting instructional videotape features the same drills, techniques, and methods that have produced baseball world's back-to-back-to-back AAU national championship teams. Dynamic practice organization makes any coach look like a genius and organizes offensive and defensive practices that players of all ages and ability levels can't wait to attend. And immensely improves team communication skills and even conditioning. This is the instructional video that's a winner. To order your copy for only $29.95, have your credit card ready and call toll-free 1-800-282-5020. The Dynamic Practice Organization teaching video makes a great gift, too. Call now, 1-800-282-5020.
Gator football is brought to you by First Union National Bank. When it comes to service, everything matters. By Dairy Farmers Incorporated, producers of fresh Florida milk. By Great Southern Wood, makers of Osmos pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't say Osmos on the yellow tag, believe me, you don't want it. By Dodge, the more things change, the more things look like the new Dodge. See your friendly Dodge dealer today. And by Bryan Foods. Bryan, the flavor of the South. The Gators' #1 quarterback, Danny Wuerffel, warming up on the sidelines, but that is the guy we expect to see most of, if not the entire second half, and that would be Brian Schottenheimer. Brian, the son of Kansas City Chiefs head coach Marty Schottenheimer, the third-teamer for the Florida Gators, and I suspect we'll see Eric Kresser for a possession or two here in the third quarter, but Schottenheimer should certainly get a lot of playing time, as will guys like Nafis Kareem, Jaquez Green, Travis McGriff, as the Florida Gators take advantage of a one-sided ball game. Kickoff is taken deep. It's taken by Moody. Moody is rocked to the ground at the 22-yard line. Tony George, a redshirt freshman out of Cincinnati, and it's not celebrating if you take a quick little bow and then head over to the sidelines.
Yeah, I got to be careful with that display of enthusiasm.
That's right. The fun police will get you.
Even at homecoming.
I think that rule should be suspended for homecoming. I think that rule should be suspended, period. Official attendance, 84,922 here at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. 2 more games at home for the Gators this year. Run up the middle, and David Barnard wraps up Charles Talley after a 2 or 3 yard gain. The Gators will host Vanderbilt on November 18th, and then, of course, Florida State on the 25th.
You see Brandon Barker with only 7 attempts in the first half, even though his team trails 37-6. You got to believe they're going to have to throw a lot more often than that, and they would want to throw a lot more often than that in the second half. But they start off the game with the running play in the second half.
Barker on the keeper. Bates ran right by him, and he goes upfield for a first down at the 33. James Bates engaged a blocker. Barker read it, turned it upfield for a Husky first down. Brandon Barker out of Amarillo, Texas. Mentioned he is the nephew of Bubby Brister.
Well, I bet that was an interesting recruiting story. Amarillo, Texas to Northern Illinois. But he's getting a chance to play Division I football, and that was probably the best opportunity he had, and he's leading the Huskies in the 95 season.
Barker throws too strong, hooking up in the zone. Brandon Willis had found a little opening, but there were Gators all over the place. It's 2nd and 10.
You know, talking about recruiting and such, Larry, I think it's really important for a kid to go to a place where he really has a chance to play. So often players, a guy like Eric Kresser, sometimes will not get the opportunity, even though he's very talented, because there's so many other talented kids on your Division I ball club. But Barker obviously leaving Texas to go to Illinois to start at quarterback.
Talley cuts back against the grain, gets 4, maybe 5 yards. Mike Moten into the ball game for the Florida Gators defensively, along with Johnny Rutledge. I think a lot of those guys, I'm looking for Mike Peterson out of Santa Fe to come in and get some playing time at that nickelbacker spot. Demetric Jackson's in at a safety.
There was some talk that Keith Council might get a chance to play this afternoon, but he's not yet been on the field. He's still recovering from that hand injury. We'll be awful glad to get Keith Council back in that interior.
Barker gets outside containment, rolling to his right, throws incomplete. Trying to get it down in the corner. Dion Mitchell down around the midfield stripe. Anthony Lott, Lawrence Wright with good coverage.
Well, a discouraging start for the Huskies as they had hoped to come out from the locker room and maybe have a little bit more success in the second half, but the Gators quickly shut them down, and the Huskies are forced to punt the ball away. And this kid, Dobay, certainly had an outstanding game for Northern Illinois. Jamie Dobay out of West Palm Beach, Florida.
Forest Hill High School. They again went to that spread formation, now tighten it up. Florida with 8 men on the line. Wes Green deep around the 22-yard line. Not much pressure. Another good kick from Dobay. Wes Green at the 23, down at the 23. Oh, the 38-yard kick with no return. And Florida will start officially. They'll mark it at the 24-yard line where it will be first down and 10.
Perry Amu really quickly down there. That could have been dangerous. You got to be a little bit more cautious when they're so close to you, and just go for that fair catch, and don't take the chance of giving the ball up on the hit.
Amu went to high school in Downers Grove, Illinois, which is where my brother and his family live, up outside Chicago. Watching on Sports Channel Chicago. I was thinking about Sports Channel Chicago, folks, when I saw the pregame weather information, and it said wind chill, 60 degrees. I don't think anyone in Chicago considers 60 degrees to be a wind chill. Edward Robinson is on the phone, and we're on our way to a break. 37-6 Gators early in the third.
All right.
Caravan has always been a great place to sit. For the new Caravan, we put a spin on that. Now you can roll the rear seat to where the middle seat goes. You can roll both seats out the back. You can roll the rear seat to the garage. You can roll the middle seat to the garage. You can roll both seats to the garage. You can roll that seat over here. You can roll this seat over there, and back again. Okay, Caravan owners, let's roll. The new Dodge Caravan, just as original as the original.
Imagine playing some of the world's most historic golf courses in picturesque Scotland. This spring, you're invited to join Coach Spurrier and his wife Jerry as they host an 8-day, 7-night, once-in-a-lifetime golf getaway. You'll play all the famous courses, including Old Course, Royal Troon, and Old Prestwick, limited to just 20 golfers.
My wife Jerry and I hope you can join us on this magnificent golf trip to Scotland. Call now for more information.
1-800-468-0051, extension 231, sponsored by Pro Golf Discount and Coonan Golf Club.
You know, Jimmy, we're a lot alike. We both work to build winners.
That's right, Coach. When you buy Osmos pressure-treated lumber from Great Southern Wood, it's clean and straight and backed by a lifetime guarantee.
Oh, Coach, they finished redecorating your office.
My office? No one was supposed to... I like it. I like it. So remember, if it doesn't say Osmos on the yellow tag, believe me, you don't want it.
Eric Kresser will begin play at quarterback here in the third quarter for the Gators, who have 3 wide receivers. The toss is to Eli Williams. Eli Williams down the left sideline. Eli to the 45 out of bounds. They'll mark him at the 44-yard line as Eli Williams picks up 20 yards on the carry. Williams 68 yards on just 7 carries today.
Aldero Jones, number 22, the strong safety, finally gets over to the sideline to make the hit. Dwayne Mobley, again, the fullback with the lead block. You see Mobley make the cut block right there. That's a nice block by, I think that was Doring downfield. All kinds of room for Eli until he gets bumped out of bounds.
Officially, Williams with 69 yards in this game. Nice catch, Mobbs. And Dwayne Mobley is dropped at the 47 of Northern Illinois, but there is a flag on the play back at about where Eric Kresser released the football.
Mo Collins, umpire almost hit him in the head with the flag. Actually, the referee who was standing back by the quarterback, that's the referee in the white hat. The umpire stands behind the defensive line. He saw it. Mo Collins
holding,
got the flag.
Offense, 10 yards, call the foul, first down.
So it'll be, in essence, a 17, 18-yard penalty back to the 27-yard line A 17-yard penalty against the Gators, and that's where they will have a first down at the 27-yard line. We'll get an update from Steve Babick after this play, as the Gators will go with split backs and 3 wide. Eric Kresser steps up and fires too strong for Jaquez Green, breaking toward the post. Let's go to Steve Babick. Steve?
Well, if Coach Spurrier doesn't look like a happy camper, you know, in the first half he mentioned to me at the end of the first half that the play was sloppy. He expected it to be a little bit sloppy, but not as sloppy as it was. The penalties, the drop balls, and Eric not being as sharp as he thought he would be. And he said, you know, we got to be a little sharper, not develop some bad habits. Guys that won't be in the second half include Ed Chester with that strained Achilles heel, Riedel Anthony with that knee, and he may get looked at tomorrow closer on that knee, and also Terry Jackson out with the sprained ankle.
All right, thanks a lot, Steve. And the Gators getting some offensive holding penalties in the line the last couple of days. Kresser steps up and gets drilled.
Well, excellent protection by the starting offensive unit. That was not the offensive line's fault. Eric Kresser just was not happy with what he saw downfield. And as he tried to walk out of the pocket, he got sandwiched there. But certainly that was more of a coverage sack. Kresser not liking what he saw. The offensive line really did an excellent job until Kresser decided to leave the pocket.
And the Gators check out a 4th wide receiver and check in fullback Dwayne Mobley, as Northern Illinois has put pretty good pressure on the Florida quarterback today. 3rd and 25. The pass out in the flat, Travis McGriff, and he'll get about 10. They'll leave Florida a long way shy, and the Gators will have to punt on their opening possession of the second half.
Well, the Huskies come as if they're going to blitz, and then they check out of the blitz, but Kresser throws the pass that he thought he had to throw against the blitz defense. That pass had no chance at all to pick up the first down. So Kresser learning a lot out there this afternoon. Again, playing when it means something, playing when it's real.
Robbie Stevenson with his second punt. It's a wobbler, hits at the 30, takes an immediate right turn, and then flip-flops back to the 27-yard line. So Stevenson ends up with a 35-yard punt and no return. And that will put the ball down at the 27 for the Huskies. There's Eric Rett, Tampa Bay Buccaneer. 1,000-yard rookie season for the Bucs.
Now the Gators currently 10th in punting in the Southeastern Conference. If there's a weakness, it might have been that running game.
Gators had the play defended, but did not make the play on the outside, and Mitchell ends up running up the sideline for big yardage for the Huskies. 34 yards on the reverse.
Deion Mitchell gets the pitch right here, and as Larry mentioned, he gets underneath the containment right there. It's a missed tackle by Hanks. Nice block downfield on Fred Weary. Finally, Anthony Lott over to knock Deion Mitchell out, and that's the kind of play they wanted to have coming out of the locker room to try and get back in this thing and at least maintain the respectability with the Florida Gators.
Charles Talley tries the left side and picks up about 5 to the Florida 34-yard line. Gators with a lot of starters back in there defensively. Johnny Church, who came upfield and did not make a play on Mitchell. Hanks, who has also had an opportunity and didn't make a play. Barnard, Campbell, along with Mike Moulton. Caven Walton in it, inside backer, number 50.
This is where you really have to focus in on one play at a time on defense. You can't look at the scoreboard and say, hey, I'm just going to cruise here for a second. You got to go after him like you're trying to shut him out.
Mitchell on the option play takes it for about 15 yards and a first down at the Florida 20. With Brandon Willis, number 15, the receiver, really wrapped up a Florida defender.
Nicely done, getting the option. A little pitch out to Mitchell in the open field.
On First down, they'll keep it on the ground. There's Talley, one step away from breaking it, spins loose, and still gets the touchdown on another missed Florida tackle.
Well, a sloppy defensive effort. Again, so difficult with a 37-6 lead to find the motivation sometimes to do what you got to do. But right now, the defense just getting handled by the Huskies. And you see Talley, the wonderful tailback, spinning off an arm tackle at the line of scrimmage, and really does a nice job on the cutback right there, right behind Mark Campbell. Just nothing but excellence by the guys up front for the Huskies right there to get that touchdown.
We now have Talley at 138 yards. Broken up by Jason Bartley, and the two-point conversion is no good. Deion Mitchell, the intended receiver, and our score will remain 37-12 in favor of the Gators with 9:48 to play. Here in the third quarter, we'll return to the Swamp in Gainesville after a short timeout. Northern Illinois with its second touchdown, both on the ground for that man.
More than half of America's most important military decisions are made here. No, it's not the Pentagon, or NORAD, or the headquarters of Air Combat Command. It's the place that employs over 50% of our armed forces. It's where you work.
See you in a couple weeks.
So when your employees in the National Guard and Reserve need time off to serve, give them the freedom to protect ours.
The hits. The plays. The scores. The teams, Gators and Hurricanes. College football. Catch it all on Sports Channel, where Florida's major college football teams play. Sports Channel, Florida's first sports network.
There's Terry Jackson in the stripe, the horizontal stripes, and Riedel Anthony behind him with the vertically striped shirt. Hopefully those guys will be fine next week, but as Steve said, Riedel's knee will get another look tomorrow to make sure it's nothing serious. Charles Talley, meanwhile, showing he can play with the big boys, 138 yards and a pair of touchdowns on 20 carries, so he's averaging almost 7 yards a pop. 73-yard drive for Northern Illinois.
Well, right now, Northern Illinois winning the third quarter 6-0. The Gators obviously with a big halftime lead, but Northern Illinois doing exactly what they needed to do at the beginning of the third quarter, and that's come back and try and get some points and shut down the Gators, and they've done that early in the third quarter.
There's that kickoff alignment again. Sooner or later, old number 38 is going to kick it, isn't he? There's a high driving kick. Weary was back along with Green, but it's Jaquez at the 7-yard line. Green had a little hole in the middle. Stutter steps his way through it. Green to the 30 and was a step shy of breaking it to the outside, but Jaquez Green with a good return, 23 yards on it. And that'll put the ball at the 30-yard line. Eric Kresser goes back out there for the Gators. They'll try to move Florida on this possession. Sean Nunn in there at tight end. In fact, double tight end with Tremaine Allen.
Well, the first offensive line continues to be on the field. They were there on the last drive, too, that sputtered.
Jerome Evans, the lone setback, and they'll give it to Jerome. Jerome's got 5. Evans runs into the pile, moves the pile close to the 40-yard line. He got at least 9 and might have picked up a first down on the carry, just the 8th carry of the season for Jerome Evans.
The 2 tight end offense, the 1 back set, giving Jerome Evans and Dwayne Mobley on occasion a chance to carry the football this afternoon.
I think the Gators would like to use Evans and Mobley more here in the second half with Brett Taylor out and Terry Jackson out. You don't want to overuse Elijah Williams. Thrown to Doring at the 45. Chris has a first down at midfield and is run out of bounds at the 43-yard line of the Huskies. 17 yards and a Florida first down.
after a couple of running efforts, you see the passing game become more effective.
Let's check in with Steve Babbitt.
Eric Kresser left his left hand, you see, bandaged up. Last series when he got out of the pocket and got crunched pretty good, he took a helmet on the left hand. It's bandaged up, but it's not hurt too bad.
Kresser completes it to Tremaine Allen. Tremaine still on his feet. We're going to get our tight end touchdown.
All right, Tremaine Allen bouncing off the ricochet block of, actually the ricochet tackle of two Husky defenders along the sideline. Tremaine Allen lines up on the left with two tight end formation, one back. Tremaine now is going to break the tackle right there that might have forced him to go out of bounds, but he will not be denied getting that first tight end touchdown of the 95 season. That's a kid that walked on too, Tremaine Allen.
Robbie Stevenson gets a chance to kick the extra point, and it is good. So Bart Edmiston, who had kicked all of them, Matt T got a chance and kicked it into the line. So Stevenson gets his first point as a Florida Gator. But Tremaine Allen, a one-time walk-on tight end from Knoxville, Tennessee, gets the big play in the passing game for the Florida Gators, 43 yards, and the Gators now have 44 points.
They're gonna knock your socks off. They will rock you. The Florida Gators, looking to three-peat as #1 in the SEC. Florida travels to Columbia, South Carolina to tackle the Gamecocks Saturday, November the 11th at 11:30 p.m. on Sports Channel, Florida's first sports network.
For the past 15 years, Gator fans have found that the best way to keep up with everything going on inside the UF athletic program is by subscribing to GatorBait, the publication devoted to Gator sports coverage. Every issue includes scouting reports, player features, award-winning columnists, and exclusive recruiting news. Now you can get 32 colorful issues plus the Florida football and basketball yearbooks for just $47. Call 1-800-782-3216 to order your subscription today. Don't wait. Get GatorBait.
Hi, football fans. Well, it's finally that season again. I'm Steve Spurrier with my friends here from Road Heaver Boys Ranch. We have a game where everybody wins. When you donate a car, truck, RV, any vehicle to Road Heaver Boys Ranch, you receive a full tax benefit and help a needy child. So call 1-800-741-2001 and everybody wins. That's 1-800-741-2001.
The hits, the plays, the scores, the teams, Gators and Hurricanes. College football, catch it all on Sports Channel, where Florida's major college football teams play. Sports Channel, Florida's first sports network.
7-0 with one Bowden down and one to go, but a few games in the interim. Tremaine Allen, who came into this game with 2 catches, has 2 catches today, including that 43-yard touchdown. A very quick drive for the Florida Gators, and for Eric Kresser, his 5th touchdown pass of the day. That gives Eric 15 on his career, 9 touchdowns this season for Kresser. He and Wuerffel have combined for 31 touchdown passes in 8 ball games, just under 4 per game. Charlie Dean, the last Gator tight end to catch a touchdown pass, that was against Vandy in 1993. So the Gators getting the tight ends and the fullbacks involved, and that's got to be great for morale for those kids to get a chance to see their name on the score sheet.
Well, and it gives confidence to the quarterbacks to go to them in the big games too. If you have the ball thrown to you and you catch it, and you make something happen, then that ball's going to come back and visit you at some point. There's Mobley taking a well-deserved rest along the sideline. Oh my goodness. Well, he's got a lot of fans out there this
Now,
afternoon.
there's one young lady in Gainesville who's not going to like that sign a bit. Barker scrambles and gets 11 yards out of it. It wasn't designed like a quarterback draw, but perhaps should have been. Tim Beauchamp came upfield and could not lock up the Husky quarterback.
Trying to bootleg out. Beauchamp also made that play earlier. He actually made the tackle for a loss earlier this afternoon. That time, at least he forced him back inside.
Gators have Willie Rogers at the right end, Tim Beauchamp at the left end. McDonald, Ferguson, and Keith Council in the game, and there's a nice tackle made. There's Rutledge, Matt Pearson, McDonald, Ferguson, Tim Beauchamp all around Marcio Haywood out of East St. Louis. Haywood.
Well, you look at the bottom of your screen, you see Beauchamp fight off the block to the outside, squeeze down toward the interior, and make the play at the point of attack.
There's the pitch. Lawrence Wright couldn't get loose, but Fred Weary will make the tackle at about the 35 or 36-yard line. Lawrence talks to the man in the striped shirt about the block he received.
Yeah, he thought he was held. He got hooked out there. That's the terminology they use. See if you can hook the safety. Nice pitch. Defensive end takes a quarterback. There's a block. Now look at Lawrence Wright. He's getting hooked out there. You can't get hooked, Lawrence. Finally, Freddie Weary over with the shoulder hit.
There you see Lawrence Wright, SEC Defensive Player of the Week. On 3rd and 5, they throw it and complete it to Strickland, who gave up the first down trying to get away, and he is stopped short of first down yardage. So Ralph Strickland, the #1 receiver for the Huskies, caught it at the 42, would have had a first down, but he tried to circle around the Gator defense, couldn't do it, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, Strickland just lost a sense of where the yard marker was, and now you might see the momentum switch quickly back to the Gators as Southern Illinois is stymieing on offense. Their last opportunity, they did get the score. Now they're forced to punt the ball away.
The Gators have 9 guys on the field. Jacques Green, fair catches at the 21-yard line. You only have 8 blockers for 11 coverage guys. You signal fair catch while they're still fielding the snap from center if you have to. Gator special teams coach Ron Zook, he'll know which 2 guys were not out there, and they will know soon as well. Gator football action continues right here on Sports Channel. We've got a couple of good ones in the SEC. Saturday, November 11th at 11:30. Join us for all the action from Williams-Brice Stadium in Columbia, South Carolina, as the Gators take on the Gamecocks. And then 2 weeks from today, back here in the Swamp, Saturday the 18th, the Vanderbilt Commodores, all right here on Sports Channel, where college football is at its best. Eric Kresser remains in the ball game for Florida. Fires the ball to Travis McGriff. Hello. Travis gets a pop from Garifo, but he holds on to the football and gains about 19.
Travis has some kind of bullseye on his jersey out there this afternoon, because they're zeroing in on him, and they're just, he's not the biggest kid in the world, so when he gets hit, maybe it just, he's off the ground. Oh, gosh. Garifo, again, number 18, Todd Garifo, the senior out of Arlington Heights. A big hit.
That makes it a 400-yard game for Eric Kresser as he connects with Nafis Kareem for a short gain. Dwayne Hawthorne on the tackle defensively. There you see Nafis out of Marietta, Georgia. Elijah Williams. Eli spun to the ground at the 22. Alterrell Jones saves a touchdown.
Well, that's the Gators' version of the shovel pass. You see them invite the defensive line on the outside, let them rush up quickly, then the guards and the center get downfield as the ball is shoveled to Eli Williams. Eli seems to be running at 100%. He's one of the only healthy tailbacks the Gators have. with Fred Taylor going down and Terry Jackson resting now in the second half.
You see Eli with 90 yards as a receiver. They're over to the corner. Jaquez Green run out of bounds at the 3-yard line.
Again, Todd Garifo on the coverage, the free safety number 18. He's a big hitter. Certainly making some big hits out there this afternoon, but this wide receiver core that the Gators have so much speed, and when Eric Kresser gets this kind of protection, they're going to get open, and before Garifo can get over there and close, the ball is caught, but he certainly makes the big hit.
And with that pass, Eric Kresser has the most prolific passing yardage day in Gator history, over 450 yards, and Sean Nunn cannot pull that in for a touchdown.
Yeah, Sean Nunn working on number 44 there. That was Salim Phillips.
Dwayne Mobley checks back in for the Gators. 2nd and goal at the 3-yard line. We've got 455, the previous best, 449 for Danny Wuerffel against Mississippi State in '93. Same year, Terry Dean had 448 against Southwestern Louisiana. It's the 4th 400-yard game in Gator history, 3 of them in the last 3 years. Sean Nunn gets the touchdown.
Well, the new go-to guy in the Gator fun and gun offense is the tight end. This time it's Sean Nunn. It was Tremaine Allen just moments ago. Now it's Sean Nunn. And the homecoming crowd's on their feet. Eric Kresser just lofts this out to Nunn, who is uncovered as he slipped across the secondary. And I think Kresser might have thrown his last pass of the afternoon right there.
I would pretty much bank on that. Bart Edmiston is back in for the extra point. And Bart shows the other guys how it's done as he splits the uprights to make it a 51-point ball game for the Florida Gators. You know, the Gators last year set a Southeastern Conference record for scoring total points in a season, and this year they are just slightly ahead of that pace.
Well, and they've scored against the big guys, too. How about 62 points against the Tennessee Volunteers? You know, how about over 50 points 2 years in a row against the Georgia Bulldogs? I mean, those are prolific numbers.
49 against Auburn.
At Auburn. Not easily done. That's not easily done, believe me.
Brian Schottenheimer will be the guy we suspect for the Gators offensively for the rest of the day, as Eric Kresser, with 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, has unofficially 458 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Now, where was Brian Schottenheimer playing, Larry, before he transferred to Florida?
He spent a year in Kansas.
At the University of Kansas? We'll look that up and make sure we're right.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
His dad, of course, is the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. So, obviously, Kansas having a terrific year this season, but Schottenheimer felt it was in his interest to come to the Swamp.
Well, Brian really wants to coach, and I think the biggest reason he made the decision to transfer here was to learn from Steve Spurrier as much for a coaching future as for a playing future, because he knew the talent that was already on hand at the University of Florida. Good kick coverage, runs the ball out of bounds at the 16. Ralph Strickland on the return. Strickland came into this ball game with 32 catches, 17 yards a catch, and 4 touchdowns, but he has been very, very quiet in the contest. For the first time since late in the first half against Kentucky, Keith Council, a 3rd-year sophomore from Orlando Evans, is into the ball game.
Well, Council was really the big play guy of the front 4 early in the '95 season. He was playing better than anybody until he got hurt, so exciting to see him back.
Running toward the left side, that's Marcio Haywood. He gets about 4 yards. Willie Cohen's also into the game defensively for the Florida Gators. Sam McCorkle in its strong safety.
Now watch Keith Council get welcomed back. He gets double teamed right there to the left of your screen. He just gets squashed on the double team block. I tell you what, it takes a while to get back into the groove after you've been sitting on the sidelines for weeks, especially when you come back and play with one hand.
Ronnie Battle is in for the Gators, as is Mike Peterson. Peterson turned the option upfield where Caven Walton was able to make the play defensively. So Florida getting some of the younger guys in, although Anthony Lott is still in at his corner position. Tico Brown, another Florida starter, is still in the ball game at free safety.
As you mentioned, Ronnie Battle, number 5, getting a chance to play. As we look at the total yardage production this afternoon, the Gators approaching the 600-yard mark, and Northern Illinois struggling with 240, most of it coming on the ground because they've had very little success throwing the ball this afternoon.
They'll try to throw it again deep down the left sidelines. Got a man, and it is caught by Deion Mitchell. And Mitchell is out of bounds at the Florida 43-yard line. So Mitchell got behind Ronnie Battle. And that completion for the Huskies goes for 35 yards. That's 21 more than they had all day before that play.
Ronnie Battle, as we mentioned, not playing much before this afternoon's game, but this is how you learn. You got to get out there when it really counts and play against the other guys. And it's always different than it is in practice, believe me, when you get out there and play for real.
Battle to the sideline. Fred Weary back in the game. Walton can't get Haywood, but his teammates do after a short gain. Tico Brown in there. Florida about to go 8-0 for the first time since 1928. That 8-0 was followed by a loss to Tennessee by a score of 13-12. So when the Gators go to Columbia next week, they will be looking for the first 9-0 record in the University of Florida's football history.
Well, this is a history-making outfit, that's for sure.
Haywood again. Runs into the pile, and the pile won't move. McDonald Ferguson, the second man in defensively for the Gators. Down at the bottom of that pile is the first guy in. That's Mike Peterson. Michael out of Santa Fe High School in Alachua, just 10 miles up the road.
The Huskies continuing to do what they think they can do best, and that's run the football, but there you see the nice effort by McDonald Ferguson as he closes down the line of scrimmage, shutting off the cutback.
Another third down, and again, Northern Illinois will throw it. Thrown down the right side. It is intercepted by Shea Showers. Now they say no. Second official comes in and waves it off. So the official on the play called it an interception. The second guy says, no, I saw it hit the ground. Showers loses the interception. It'll be fourth down.
Well, Brandon Willis is the intended receiver. A little bit of late pressure there on Barker, and now let's keep watching. There's the bobble. We know that happened. Oh, from this angle, it's tough to see. Did he get his hands underneath it before it hit the ground or not?
Well, we couldn't tell. The official on the play was a little bit behind the guys, and as a result would not have seen it if it had touched the ground. So they'll go for it on fourth down, needing about 3.5. They run the reverse to Mitchell. Out there is Willie Cohens, but he gets by him. McCorkle runs him out of bounds. What's the spot? First down at the 32.
Well, you have one responsibility as a defensive end, and that's not to let the guy get outside of you. Willie Cohens sees the ball go the other way. He momentarily relaxes. Now, you're playing right in. All of a sudden, you see the ball go the other way, and you say, uh-oh, I am not deep enough, and I do not have the speed to get this guy on the reverse. And Deion Mitchell picks up the first down. Defensive ends got to get upfield and contain, and especially watch out for that reverse.
2:11 to go, third quarter. Barker looking deep. Oh! He got buried by Willie Cohens out of Bradford High School in Stark.
Now this time Willie Cohens continues with his pressure upfield, continues to fight upfield, then comes back underneath, working underneath the block of Jamie McDonald, and just right into the face of Barker before he gets a chance to look downfield.
3 wide to the right. On second down, they run the option. Barker, a late pitch, gets the ball to Mitchell. He's racked up, fumbles it, and falls on it at the 36. Johnny Rutledge, Shea Showers in there defensively. Rutledge checks out. Walton checks back in. Florida shuffling guys a lot. McDonald Ferguson out. Cam Davis is in.
Beauchamp makes the effort on Barker. Barker's still able to free the hand to make the pitch, but Lawrence Wright and Shea Showers almost get that turnover.
Less than a minute to go, third quarter. 51-12 is our score. Barker gets it to Mitchell. Mitchell gets wrapped up by Walton after a 5 or 6 yard pickup. It'll be 4th down and about 8. Keith Council's been very frustrated on the sidelines, waiting and waiting to get back. Maybe next week he'll be more of a part of the Florida scheme.
Northern Illinois not hesitating to go for it here.
Well, they're trying to let the quarter run out, but they can't. 10 on the play clock, 12 on the quarter clock. And now they're going to use a timeout with 4 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
Well, actually, that's not a bad call because they want to score, so they want to discuss this. They want to think about it. They have no hopes of winning the game, but they do want to finish off this drive.
Yeah, I have a feeling, though, they were watching the game clock and said, we'll get a free timeout, and they look over at the play clock and say, uh-oh, and they call timeout. That gives us the chance to go down to the field to Steve Babbitt.
Okay, thanks, guys. I'm with Eric Rett. Once a Gator, always a Gator. Eric, happy homecoming to you.
Oh, it definitely feels great to be back again. I mean, I haven't heard a crowd like this in a very long time. It feels good to be back here, back in the swamp.
You know, you're a part of this offense, and you get to see from the sideline all the different options. It's a lot of fun to be a part of this kind of offense, isn't it?
Oh, man, I miss this kind of offense. I mean, they move the ball so quickly. I mean, score so many points, and the offense stay on the field a very long time, and that's something I miss right there. And, but they're doing super, and I'm behind them all the way.
You know, it's good to see you here. We've seen a lot of former Gators in the NFL that get the chance to come back. We saw Willie Jackson earlier. Good to have all those Gators there in the NFL. You guys got a little fraternity going.
Oh, definitely. We're going to always be Gators. We're going to support the Gators all the way. I mean, the players, the coaches. Hey, we wish them all the best. National championship.
Okay, good luck with the Bucks. Having a winning season. Keep it going.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks a lot, Steve. And Rett, the all-time leading runner, 4,163 yards for the Florida Gators. Also caught 153 passes. 4th down play. Barker rolling right. Pumps. He gets away from Walton. He's inside the 30. Lunges. Oh! Did he take a shot at the 20-yard line? When you're down 39, I don't think you quarterbacks should take hits like that.
Well, he's got the adrenaline flowing, and he has the hope of guiding his team to at least another touchdown. And this is just why kids play college football. It means something to them, and the diving effort right there by Barker is a perfect example of that.
And it's a final play of the third quarter. 15 minutes of football still to play. It's 51-12 Florida. Live at the Swamp for the Gators, looking to go 8-0.
Hi, Daddy.
What?
I've got a chance to take French in summer school.
Well, that's wonderful.
In Paris.
France?
First Union introduces the reality check, the loan that can turn dreams
Yes, I'm still here.
into reality.
One more time, big guy.
Because not every kid who deserves a scholarship to college gets one. First Union introduces the reality check, the hassle-free loan that can help make realities out of dreams.
We all know who's #1 in the SEC, and we know who's #1 for Gator fashion apparel. It's the Bull Gator, right across the street from the stadium. If you want the latest in fashion and gift ideas, don't even think of going anywhere else. Right now, the Bull Gator has a new catalog, so call 1-800-GO-SWAMP. Ordering is easy, and you'll love the prices. Don't wait till game day. Order now and be ahead of the crowd. Call 1-800-GO-SWAMP. That's 1-800-GO-SWAMP.
And now let's make that random call with today's $10,000 question. Who shot Alexander Hamilton in that famous duel?
Hello, for $10,000. Excuse me? Oh, I'm sorry. Your time is up.
Gator football is also brought to you by AT&T Wireless, providing the products and services from the most trusted name in communications. And Citgo, the sign of quality. Trey Everett from Washington, D.C., another former Florida Gator here for homecoming. The ball's at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for Northern Illinois. That's Talley. Talley's got 5, and he's dragged down at about the 12, maybe got to the 11-yard line. Lawrence Wright still in the game for the Gators.
Now, you got to admire this Northern Illinois Husky Ball Club, Larry. They are fighting and scratching and fighting, and we saw the effort by Barker. There we see the effort by Talley right here. These kids, even though they trail 51-12, they want to get another score. They want to do the best that they can, and they're trying to claw their way towards another touchdown.
Barker on 2nd down fires. It is caught for a touchdown by Strickland. Ralph Strickland. The ball might have gone right through the hands of Johnny Rutledge, who seemed to have good coverage.
They're exactly right. That's what happened. That ball just zipped right through Johnny Rutledge's hands. Before he could close his hands, the ball was through him. Here you see the Huskies, who haven't thrown with any success all afternoon. Johnny Rutledge extends the hands, but is unable to make contact with the ball, and Ralph Strickland catches the touchdown pass.
They're going to go for a 2-pointer again. They missed their first extra point, then missed a 2-point attempt. And now they go for it for a 3rd time. They do the option. Deion Mitchell bounces it outside. Nice running by Deion Mitchell, the freshman from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Makes it a 51-20 ball game early in the 4th quarter.
Well, I tell you what, when a South Carolina or a Vanderbilt or a Florida State watches this game film, they're going to see that this option creates some problems for the Gator defense. Of course, they're not going to change their own style of play, but yet they might add a play or two to take advantage of a perceived weakness.
There you see Mitchell on the sideline. Florida's lead is 31. We'll return after this timeout. You're watching Florida Gator football on Sports Channel.
You build a winning tradition on great talent. And that's why we've recruited Brian to be the official hot dog of the Florida Gators. For over 60 years, they've built a winning tradition with the flavor of the South, that distinctive hickory smoke taste that makes them top dog around here. In fact, Brian is the only dog you'll find in the swamp, with the possible exception of an occasional bulldog. Brian, the official hot dog of the Florida Gators.
Right now, John Morrison isn't thinking about cancer or the medical studies that conclude foods rich in vitamin C, like Florida orange juice, may actually help lower the risk of some types of cancer. So while he may not know it, he's doing something good for his body every morning. Even on those days he's just not able to exercise. 100% pure Florida orange juice. To your health.
The preceding arguments for sliding doors on both sides were brought to you courtesy of the new Dodge Caravan. Just as original as the original.
For centuries, the people of New Guinea have used a form of wireless communication that is simple, reliable, and convenient. So they can always stay in touch. Our geography is a bit larger, and our tribe includes all of humankind. Introducing AT&T Wireless Services, technology that sets you free. Call 1-800-IMAGINE.
31-point Florida advantage, 51-20, with just about 41 seconds gone here in the fourth quarter of this ball game. The Huskies with a good drive, an 84-yard drive, including a fourth down conversion on a scramble by the quarterback Barker. And they added the two-pointer to go with it.
Anytime you get a double-digit drive, 13 plays, something like that, you're getting the ball, you're getting it done, and you're shoving the ball down the other guy's throat.
Isn't it time for Dommins to finally kick this one? Yep. Oh.
Nope.
On it. Very disappointing. Jaquez Green on the return. Quez is spun to the ground after a short return to the 22-yard line, and that's where Florida will go on offense. And the Gators getting a lot of reserves in there. Elijah Brown, Deke Story, Pat Browning, P.J. Harrison, Wiley Rich will be the offensive line for the Gators. And Brian Schottenheimer will be in at quarterback. Schottenheimer, 2 for 4 this year, 0 for 1 last year, a fourth-year junior. He has one more season of eligibility, as do Wuerffel and Kresser. Wayne Mobley, mobbed to the 30, kind of stumbled trying to get away from Patrick Stephen and ended up settling for about an 8-yard gain.
Well, it's been a long time since he had to make a move in the open field. So, you know, he's not used to getting out there in the wide open spaces with the ball under his arm. This kid was an outstanding high school running back, came to the University of Florida with the hope of carrying the ball a lot, but was asked to be more of a blocker.
And he has been that. This time he is a target. And he is racked up. Smith makes the play. Steve Smith, a sophomore from St. Louis. A gain of maybe a yard. It'll be third down and a long one or a short two.
Yeah, Smith's had an excellent game. He's just he's been all over the field for the Huskies this afternoon. Had to take a break on that play. Hopefully he's not injured.
Gators need to get the ball across the 32-yard line. Mobley does that as he spins down close to the 35 and gets the Florida first down. Mobley, coming into this game, had carried the ball just 10 times all season long, and he just carried 3 in a row.
Big blocks up front by Pat Browning, P.J. Harrison.
Looked like Deke Story got a nice block in there out of Winter Park High School. There are the official numbers on Eric Kresser. 458 and 6 touchdowns. Let's see if Schottenheimer gets to throw now. To Travis McGriff. And McGriff will be dropped after about a 4-yard pickup. Wayne Hawthorne, who's played quite a bit in this game on the left corner for the Huskies, makes the tackle. Schottenheimer with 35 career passing yards, and he should be able to break that mark here in the fourth quarter. Still 12 plus to go in the game. Florida up 51-20. Schottenheimer checking off. Wants to go deep to Nafis Kareem and throws it wide of the sideline. It'll fall incomplete. Good pass rush coming up the middle. Looked like C.J. Rose and Hollis Thomas also got in there. Want to say hi to the Columbia Gator Club up in Columbia, South Carolina. Wayne Moss and all those guys get together to watch every Gator game on Sports Channel, and we'll see those guys next weekend. As we said, we'll see them next weekend from Columbia, South Carolina. We hope you'll join us for more Gator football action. Saturday, the 11th at 11:30, and then the following week, Vanderbilt will be here at the Swamp for the SEC finale. The Gators need one of those 2 games to win the Eastern Division Championship and advance to the SEC Championship game in Atlanta.
Looks like Arkansas might possibly be the opponent. Arkansas having to do the same in the West, win one of their remaining 2 ball games, and this weekend they're playing Mississippi State. Then they finish up with LSU. Right now, that looks like it might be the match in the Georgia Dome.
Let's take a look at the SEC's Eastern Division, and Tennessee would love another shot at the Gators, but that's not going to happen. Georgia They still have Auburn and Georgia Tech to play. South Carolina hoping to repeat a bowl season of a year ago, and Georgia might get there at 6-5, but South Carolina really has to upset Florida and beat Clemson to have any hope of postseason play.
Big surprise in the West this year is Arkansas. The Razorbacks 5-1 in the SEC. Preseason favorites, of course, were Alabama and Auburn, but they've struggled, and they've yet to play each other. Alabama and Auburn, one of those guys is going to beat up on the other guy, so Arkansas really with a great chance to unseat the Crimson Tide for the first time since the two-division concept was created.
Schottenheimer middle screen, and there's a ton of traffic there. Ends up completing the pass for a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down. C.J. Rose again getting after it in a hurry, and the Gator offense cannot move the ball as we go inside 11.5 minutes to play here in the ball game. Florida with the game well in control, trying to get some experience, some meaningful playing time for a lot of down-the-line players. I'd like to see Robbie Stevenson unload a couple of good punts. This is his 3rd punt of the day. His first 2 were just okay, and this is a side-wielding wobbler. That'll end up being down at about the 24-yard line. So a 36-yard kick for Stevenson, who came in averaging 37.7. He's not allowed much in terms of returns. A lot of his kicks have not even been fieldable for the other return guys. And if you can average 34 to 36, your team won't do too badly. Here's Albert touring the stands. And he's a little thirsty right now.
Yeah, he wants to tailgate. So let's hit the parking lot.
From the 24-yard line, Kenneth Williams, a reserve quarterback, into the game. And that play doesn't go very far. Williams, a sophomore from New Orleans. He's a guy who can run the option. He was an option quarterback previously, and we may see even more of the option out of the Huskies here in the final 10 or 11 minutes.
Like Mike Moten, number 90 for the Gators, was very active right there at the point of attack. Moten playing left tackle right now for the Gators on defense.
Option right side. Williams fakes the pitch, gets into the open field where Demetric Jackson will wrap him up and drop him to the turf at about the 41-yard line.
Yeah, that was a beautiful job of faking the pitch. Kenneth Williams, just a sophomore out of New Orleans. Here's that little fake right there that gets him some excellent yardage and moves the chains. Clock still running with the shade over 10 minutes left to go in this 4th quarter.
Ball at the 41. The Huskies trying to make that score a little more respectable. They're closer to the Gators than they were last week to Cincinnati. There's Marcio Haywood again on the carry. Not much there. Got a couple, maybe 3.
Gators continue to rotate a lot of fresh players into the front 4, hoping to get a way to shut down the Huskies, finally finish them off.
Down goes the quarterback, down goes the pitch man, and the net result is not a great deal. Willie Rogers kind of threw the timing off of that play in a big way. Johnny Rutledge ended up with the tackle.
Nice job of getting upfield by Willie Rogers there. And you see finally it was Mike Harris stopping the play along with Johnny Rutledge.
And it brings up a 3rd down and about 6 from the 45-yard line. Less than 9 minutes to play in the game. Williams throws, broken up, caught by Mike Moten. The big defensive tackle down the left sideline. Can he get it? Can he get it? No! No, it just won't work out. Moten is dropped at the 6-yard line. Oh, man.
Sam McCorkle, who hopefully is not injured, is the guy that deflects the ball initially. McCorkle breaking on the throw. Kenneth Williams looking downfield. There's McCorkle breaking on the throw. Moten alertly reaching up to grab the ball, and then he's going to get chased down from behind by one of the speedy receivers. But he ran out of bounds and then came back in. I don't know if you can do that on defense, can you?
It's not a pass play. You track them down.
Andy Antoine, you can do that.
Yeah, as long as the ball's not in the air. I don't think he can run out and come back and intercept a pass. Well, hopefully Sam McCorkle's okay. Might have landed funny on his neck.
Well, he's moving okay, so we know it's...
The defensive lineman's dream, a chance to score, and Mike Moten 6 yards shy of reaching the end zone.
Sam McCorkle getting a big hand because the folks realize how valuable he is to the Gator team on specialty teams, and we're pleased with that effort by McCorkle as a defensive back, a chance that he rarely gets to play in the secondary.
And now let's see what the Gators can do. First and goal at the 6. Schottenheimer rolling, looking for a touchdown pass, and he's got one. David Nabavi, a walk-on receiver from Orlando's Dr. Phillips High School, and he's got a touchdown. And Brian Schottenheimer has thrown his first Gator touchdown pass.
Nabavi also has his first reception of the year, unless he had one earlier today, did he? I don't know that he did.
Well, that's his first.
David Nabavi, number 84, not only his first touchdown of the year, but his first reception, and you know that's got to be a thrill for the young junior who really gets a chance to play, but makes the most of his time on the field this afternoon.
And David Nabavi caught a 26-yarder last year. Extra point is up and good, so Bart Edmiston connects on the extra point. He remains flawless. And we're headed to a break with 8 minutes and 29 seconds to go in the homecoming game in Gainesville. The Florida Gators, 58 points.
I've got some startling news for you about your life insurance. Many people don't know it, but the premiums for the same coverage can differ widely from company to company. And you could save hundreds, even thousands of dollars by shopping around. Well, there's an organization called Best Quote that will do the shopping for you for free. They compare rates from over 150 of the country's highest-rated insurance companies. They'll send you a free, no-obligation comparison of the 5 policies that have the best value for you. A 35-year-old non-smoking male can get $250,000 worth of coverage for less than $15 a month. At age 45, it would still be less than $19 a month for that same policy. Call Best Quote now for your free comparison. This is information you should have. And remember, it's free.
Best Quote's 24-hour toll-free number is 1-800-410-4334. That's 1-800-410-4334.
Now the Gator football team saw Northern Illinois driving, but the breakup by McCorkle, the return by Moten down to the 6-yard line, and a one-play drive. Schottenheimer to Nabavi for the touchdown has the Gators up again 58-20. We've got a final score from the SEC Western Division. Arkansas has won the West with a 26-21 win over Mississippi State. The Razorbacks are in the SEC championship game where they will play the Gators, assuming Florida can beat either South Carolina or Vanderbilt the next 2 weekends. What a big year for Arkansas to get into that SEC title game.
Well, they were rarely mentioned in the preseason polls. It was all the talk of Terry Bowden and the Auburn Tigers and Alabama, the Crimson Tide, all the tradition, all the championships that they've strung up, and an LSU team that was expected to improve, but everyone, I think, just overlooked Arkansas. Danny Ford with a super coaching job out there, and I know Gator fans are hoping that they get a chance to match up with the Hogs in Atlanta.
Arkansas, remember, beat Alabama by a single point. They beat Auburn by 2. Today beating Mississippi State by 5. So they have really had to scrap in a lot of close ball games in order to get into that Western Division championship position. Meanwhile, the Gators will be on the road in Columbia, as we've told you, then Vandy and Florida State. And go ahead and put on in there, go ahead and put December 2 SEC championship game. I don't think that would be too bold of an act. On the option, the pitch to Mitchell. He's got running room. He's across midfield and wrapped up at the 49-yard line of Florida. Mike Harris makes the tackle for the Gators. But I tell you, I like this kid, Deion Mitchell. He's got some speed out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Mitchell now, we've got him for 99 yards on 9 carries. He's also caught 3 passes for 44 yards.
They're going to wind up with 2 backs with over 100 yards each rushing. It's just it's a strange stat to see when your team trails 58-20, but they've elected to run the ball rather than catch up via the air and try and win. They're just content to run the ball and to do what they can do on the ground. Oh, look at that upfield.
Well, he threw that forward, which means there ought to be a flag for a lineman downfield. Seeing how one of their linemen was at the 42-yard line. But there are no flags, and it'll be just a short gain.
Willie Rogers, number 54. Willie Rogers, number 54. Cohen's 55. Willie Rogers working upfield beautifully right here. The bottom of your screen. You see him work upfield. He just destroys the play, literally. Of course, if you're behind the line of scrimmage, you can't throw the ball forward. Evidently, no lineman did get downfield, so...
Up the middle, Haywood, not much there. Rutledge and Council there defensively for the Gators. I think Keith Council still feels awkward with that hand all wrapped up and not much use of his left hand at all.
It's much more difficult for a defensive player to play with a cast because he's got to grab and pull and reach. An offensive lineman, it's really an advantage to an offensive lineman. I've known guys that have had hands broken and then they healed and they kept wearing the cast even though the hand had healed so they could use it on offense, but it hurts the defender.
Williams gets away from a couple of guys still on the run, and Johnny Rutledge makes a nice open field tackle at the 46-yard line. That'll bring up a 4th down situation for the Huskies as we near the 6-minute mark to play in this ball game.
Now they're trying to go downfield, but they've, again, had problems all afternoon throwing the ball effectively, so they scramble out. Kenneth Williams in the open field, and was that Beauchamp?
Rutledge,
Johnny Rutledge.
Well, a late decision on the Huskies. The Gators scrambling around, and Jaquez Green is still not back there. He's running in from the side as the ball is snapped, and he gets out there, signals fair catch, but doesn't try to field the ball. And then a Husky comes in out of the end zone to deflect the ball, and they're going to give it to him again. He was already in the end zone. Okay. Florida will have the ball at the 1-yard line, and Dobe's got some nice net numbers going for him today. And Florida's going to have some extra time in the special teams meeting, because again, as that ball was, they were lining up, the Gators return man, Jaquez Green, was around midfield.
Let's see if we can see. The ball is knocked back. They just do a great job of stopping the ball. Good gracious, on the 1-inch line. The ball doesn't break the plane, I guess.
Jerome Evans checks into the Florida lineup. That ball is as close to the goal line as they can put it. And that's where Florida starts out with 5.5 minutes still to play. He might not have gotten out.
Oh, my goodness.
Is that Ernie DeBose in there?
Oh, almost give up the safety. Oh, Coach Spurrier, that visor would hit the ground on that one, I guarantee you.
That is Ernie DeBose getting the ball out of the end zone where it'll be 2nd down and 10. The broadcast rights to today's telecast have been granted to Sports Channel by the University of Florida solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this program without the express written consent of Sports Channel is prohibited. Along with Steve Babbitt and Jim Yarbrough, I'm Larry Vitale. Glad to have you tuned in. The Gators deep in their own territory. They'll throw out of the end zone. Schottenheimer throwing deep for Travis McGriff, broken up by James Allen. And it'll be 3rd and 10.
James Allen, the junior out of Compton, California, right there at safety. Patrick Stephen also helping right there.
Schottenheimer checks out for 3rd down.
Damian Hill, who's going to run the option.
I believe that's Noah Brandeis, a walk-on in it. What a situation. 3rd and 10. They go up the middle. They've got a chance at a 1st down. Ernie DeBose gets the 1st down up to the 14-yard line. Pat Browning, Deke Story doing the blocking on the right side, and Florida gets a 1st down at the 14.
So introduce us to this new quarterback now. We've got a youngster. We're deep on the depth chart right now. We're going to do some research here and see what we can find out about number 6.
Noah Brandeis is out of Fort Myers. He's from Cypress Lakes High School, same high school attended by Ronnie Battle and Johnny Church. I believe this is his 2nd year as a walk-on for the Gators. And he quarterbacks the scout team along with Bobby Sablehouse, the freshman getting a redshirt year. And Brandeis connects with Taurus Ross for a 1st down up close to the 30-yard line.
Now these guys must hook up and practice a lot, so this is a combination that they're used to. Taurus Ross getting out in the flat. Brandeis, is that it?
Brandeis.
Brandeis.
Now, this is a big moment for him. 4:08 to go. Wouldn't it be a thrill if he could throw a touchdown pass? Down the middle, Ross tried to get up there with one big paw to bring it in, but Noah Brandeis threw into a heap of coverage, and it's incomplete.
Well, he was on target, though. Could have been a great catch. Noah Brandeis, his 1st time in the swamp on a Saturday afternoon, and tries again to get the ball to Taurus Ross. Said, hey, he caught it before. I'm going to force it in there to him again.
Another Florida walk-on has checked into the ball game. That would be Sean McCarthy. They call him the Senator. So Senator McCarthy is in there. And he DeBose across the 35-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down situation. McCarthy caught a pass in one of the Gator scrimmages, and he was rumbling toward the end zone, but he got caught and got a lot of razzing from the other guys, and he admitted afterwards, shoot, they timed me with a calendar, not a stopwatch, so I figured someone was going to catch me. Schottenheimer goes back in for Florida on 3rd down and a long 4. They've got to get the ball across the 39. Quick. Travis McGriff. Travis makes the catch and goes forward to about the 48-yard line, and another Florida 1st down.
I thought that ball might be getting there just a tad late. Derek Nepomniac, number 14 in coverage. Oh, they're saying it's Dwayne Hawthorne wearing number 14 today. On mine it says something else. So we've got we're deep on the depth chart on both sides.
We're going with Hawthorne. Well, out to the left side. I think that's Jason Dean who made that catch out on the left side. Travis McGriff now, 6 catches for 74 yards today for Florida.
Travis with 2 catches against the Dogs in Athens, 1 for a touchdown in his last battle for the Gators. And he's having a big game, his biggest game obviously of his young career, making some impressions on the coaching staff. All positive.
2nd down from the 47, 2:20 to go, and That would appear to be offside. I didn't see any movement. Perhaps there was some, but Wade White appeared just to kind of jump in there and hit the Senator.
Offside, defense, 5-yard penalty, previous spot, second down.
I don't think it'll be second down. I think it'll give them first down yardage.
Yeah, a lot of poise by the Senator right there. Not got to have thick skin to be a Senator.
We're told by the guys in the truck that Florida has now had 12 different receivers catch the ball, and Ike Hilliard and Reed L. Anthony are not on that list. And our stats guy, Ray, wants extra money. Oh! Was that the Senator? Oh, he could have added to the list. Second down and 10, a minute 57 to play. Gator Athletic Director Jeremy Foley down in the south end zone area. Danny Sheldon, Assistant Athletic Director.
I wonder if you're calling in the air
Boy, did Danny have
I wonder if you're calling in
a difficult time with that trip back from Athens. Bus breaking down on the way back to the airport, and weather forced them to land in Savannah on the way to Atlanta. That trip was not easy. Ernie DeBose turns it upfield and gets down to about the 35-yard line. And that'll give the Gators a 3rd and 3 with a minute 45 to play and the clock running.
Well, it seems like been Arkansas winning today, Alabama and Auburn just playing for the pecking order on the SEC bowl list. They have no hopes of overtaking the Gators or Tennessee or certainly Arkansas at this point in terms of possibly the national polls.
SEC's number 4 team will go to the Peach Bowl. The number 5 team will end up at the Independence Bowl in Shreveport.
Number 2 team in the Citrus Bowl.
And the number 3 in the Outback Bowl, which is now in Tampa. So there are some great bowl opportunities. Of course, the number 1 SEC team, the champion, will go into the Bowl Alliance. And if the Gators win them all, including that showdown with the Seminoles, the Gators would play Nebraska, it appears, in Tempe, Arizona. That is the dream of every Florida fan right now, and it's a dream that could become reality. Less than a minute to play. Ernie DeBose again. He's got 5. He's got 10. He's got 15. Dropped the ball. And Northern Illinois picks it up at the 10-yard line, and that'll be it for this group, trying to move the ball into the end zone. Nice run from Ernie DeBose of 15 yards, but lost the handle just at the end of the play. We'll return to the Swamp for the final few seconds after this timeout.
You know, here lately, Great Southern Wood's been running a lot of funny commercials to try to get people to think yellow when they're building outdoors. But seriously, when you buy lumber from Great Southern Wood, you know it's clean and straight and backed by a lifetime guarantee. How do you know? By looking for this yellow tag. It means you've bought the best. So when you're building outdoors, yellow is your color. Remember, if it doesn't say Osmos on the yellow tag, believe me, you don't want it. Yellow.
And now let's make that random call with today's $10,000 question. Who shot Alexander Hamilton in that famous duel?
Hello, for $10,000. Excuse me? Oh, I'm sorry. Your time is up.
Some people can't afford to worry about the fuel in their tank. And when it comes to consistency and quality, their demands are among the toughest in the world. That's why most major domestic and international airlines depend on Citgo. And with more than 13,000 locations across America, you can depend on Citgo too. Citgo, the sign of quality.
They're gonna knock your socks off. They will rock you. The Florida Gators, looking to three-peat as #1 in the SEC. Florida travels to Columbia, South Carolina to tackle the Gamecocks Saturday, November the 11th at 11:30 p.m. on Sports Channel, Florida's first sports network.
685. Florida Gators having a big day offensively, 58 points on the board and just a ton of real estate. Close to 700 yards. They do a flea flicker. Well, I guess it's okay if you're down 38. And it's intercepted. Tony George out of Cincinnati, Ohio, picks it off with 31 seconds to play.
Oh, that's a good job by George, not going to sleep in the secondary, realizing that the Huskies might pull out a trick play. Well positioned, comes up with the interception.
Noah Brindise is going to go in there.
Well, we think, yep. Noah returns. Williams gets everything he can underneath this football, but Tony George, first interception of 95.
Gators total offense record, if you're wondering, 774 yards at homecoming against West Texas State in 1982. Ernie DeBose has dropped at the 42. That'll be a loss of 3. I don't suspect you'll see the Gators call a timeout and get any more ball plays called. Gator head man says that's enough and starts heading across the field. And the University of Florida football team, for the first time since 1928, can boast of an 8-0 record. The Florida Gators returning home for the first time in 5 weeks. 3 road games in an off week since they had hosted the Ole Miss Rebels. And Florida returns home in style, defeating the Huskies from Northern Illinois by a score of 58-20.
Hi, I'm Ann Ligori. One of my favorite parts of Sports Interview is the interview, getting the personalities to open up about themselves. You'll see that there's more to these athletes than RBIs and touchdowns.
I told it to the people I needed to tell it to. I don't have to tell it to you. It's not going to get me in the Hall of Fame.
I'm probably one of the only athletes in L.A. that says he doesn't want to join the golf tour and doesn't want to be an actor.
Football put me here, but football will get me out.
So look for us each week on Sharp Sports Interview.
The hits, the plays, the scores, the teams, Gators and Hurricanes. College football, catch it all on Sports Channel, where Florida's major college football teams play. Sports Channel, Florida's first sports network.
Well, the Florida cheerleaders among many celebrating homecoming weekend at the University of Florida as the Gators post a 58-20 win over the Huskies of Northern Illinois to make it 8-0 on the 1995 season. Let's go to Steve Babick, who's with head coach Steve Spurrier.
Okay, Coach. Okay, the Gators, a big homecoming victory over Northern Illinois. Coach, your thoughts on the game?
Well, it was a typical homecoming game. We had a lot of good plays, a lot of sloppy plays, but hopefully nobody got hurt too much, and it went about the way you expect.
I know a lot of guys got a chance to get their first touchdowns. Tight end Sean Nunn and Tremaine Allen, fullbacks Jerome Evans and Dwayne Mobley.
Yeah, it was neat that some of these guys, got their first TDs, and Noah Brandis, walk-on quarterback, got a completion. So we were able
for a lot of backup players to get involved, get their names on the record books here at Florida.
I know it's kind of a nagging thing when a few of the small injuries cropped up there in the first half, and some of the guys had to be held out a little bit.
I don't think they're real serious. Terry Jackson slightly sprained his ankle. He said, I could play the second half, Coach, but we wanted to hold him out. And Riedel got kicked in the shin, so he doesn't have any structural damage. He should be okay.
Eric Kresser, your thoughts on his play and the snaps?
Eric had some beautiful throws. He had some little jittery throws, but it was good for him. It was a wonderful experience for him. Hopefully next time he plays, he'll be a little bit under control. And but gosh, he still was pretty doggone good. He made some beautiful throws today.
Okay, Coach, thanks very much. Eric Kresser, his first start as a Gator, leads Florida to victory over the Northern Illinois Huskies. Let's go back up to Larry and Jim.
Okay, thank you very much, Steve. And Jim, when I think of this game, I'm going to think about what Steve Babick just talked about. I'm going to think about the tight ends and the fullbacks getting a chance to be in the end zone, because that's really what you like to see for homecoming.
Yeah, Larry, and didn't Kresser set a school record for passing yardage? I mean, for Coach Spurrier, you know, I mean, that kind of gets lost in everything. But isn't that funny? This offense is so productive. The backup quarterback sets a school record, and it's like, oh, you know.
Really? How about that? 458 for Eric Kresser. Big game for Travis McGriff. Caught 6 passes. Jaquez Green really just scratching the surface of what could be a very explosive career for Quez.
Well, in the final push for an SEC championship and perhaps a national championship, a lot of those guys down the depth chart will be called upon when it really matters, and they'll be ready to stand up and answer the call.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Jim Yarbrough, it really matters next week, because the Florida Gators will be on the road trying to clinch their 4th consecutive Southeastern Conference Eastern Division Championship when they visit Williams-Brice Stadium in Columbia, South Carolina to take on the Gamecocks. Be sure to join us Saturday, November 11th at 11:30 for all the action right here on Sports Channel. I'm Larry Vitale saying so long for Jim Yarbrough, Steve Babick, and our entire Sports Channel crew. Once again, the final score from the Swamp, Florida 58, Northern Illinois 20. Happy homecoming from Gainesville.
News Sports.
Everyone's all worked up about this edition of Scoreboard Central. Maybe it's the Bo Holyfield fight that has them in the mood. Or that 2 top college quarterbacks get sacked for the season. Then again, it could be a hot matchup on the ice. Well, whatever it is, let's hope cooler heads prevail. That's the thing. Scoreboard Central is next. Live from New York, this is Scoreboard Central, the nation's only continuous sports update from coast to coast. Well, hi again, everyone. I'm Mike Kersey. Notre Dame wins a game but loses their main player for the season. There's a new morning in the life of Riley, but first, a match in which the Boxers dubbed the People's Championship. Well, there was absolutely nothing on the line but pride. 2 warriors doing battle inside the ropes of the Caesars Palace ring in the 3rd meeting between the former heavyweight champions. Evander Holyfield weighing in at 213. Riddick Bowe at 240, 6 pounds lighter than their last meeting. and apparently it made a difference to Bo. Big Daddy climbed off the canvas after being knocked down in the 6th round and proceeded to drop Holyfield in the 8th round with a right to the head. Holyfield getting to his feet at the count of 8, but still staggering. There was 2 more right hands, which sent Holyfield into the ropes, and the fight was immediately stopped. Riddick Bowe with an 8th round technical knockout of Evander Holyfield, quite possibly putting an end to the former heavyweight champion's career for the final time. The winner, Riddick Bowe, over Holyfield in the 8th round. Bowe won the first fight between the two. Holyfield won the second, and now Bowe in the rubber match comes up with the victory. To college football now, where the 4th-ranked Buckeyes of Ohio State looked for a big one over Minnesota and a chance to grab a few more first-place votes in the poll. That and a few more wins would put them in the Rose Bowl. John Cooper looking on from the sidelines. He'd be watching Minnesota score first. Javon Jackson, 10 yards out, bowls his way in, touchdown. Minnesota fired up. Oh, Gopher fans happy. Now 7-all. Quarterback Jason Murdoch hits Tutu Atwell. Tutu for 6-6, touchdown. And the flag man's running again. 14-7, Mini. Ohio State star wide receiver Terry Glenn makes a great catch here, but lands hard on the shoulder. He left the game with a slight shoulder sprain and did not return. Second quarter, 14-7 Minnesota. Bobby Hoying, just too much. He and Eddie George. Hey, coach, watch this guy run. Wish you had him, don't you? Eddie George, 3 touchdowns on the day. The Heisman Trophy candidate looking good. 21-14 OSU. Alums Robert Smith, Scotty Graham enjoying the game. Hi, how you doing? Nice to see you. Now it's Peppy Pearson. Who? Peppy Pearson. Who? Just call me Peppy. Touchdown. You got to like it. Oh, Mr. Peppy. 28-14 at that point. They go on to win it by a score of 49-21. Ohio State now 5-0 in the Big Ten. Usually on a crisp, clear fall afternoon on a college football Saturday, Northwestern is the traditional stepping stone to someone else's Rose Bowl dreams. Well, Saturday in Evanston, the 7-1 Wildcats went after their first 7-game winning streak since 1936. They played host to Joe Paterno and Penn State, a team in the role of Big Ten spoiler this time around, against a Wildcats team looking to stay unbeaten in league play. We have highlights. Gary Barnett taking his troops to a place they've never been before. First quarter, 7-0 Wildcats. Darnell Autry, touchdown. Darnell Autry, watch him down the road for the Heisman. Maybe not this year, but the following year. Coach Paterno doesn't want to see any more of this guy, but he'll do it again. Hurdling, running, touchdown. Autry, in there. He had 3 scores on the day. And 5 sacks for the Northwestern defense. The Wildcats just going wild on Wally Richardson. The final score, 21-10 Northwestern. A fine job indeed. Now 8-1, 6-0 in Big Ten play. 1 game ahead of Ohio State in the Big Ten. Also in the Big Ten, a barn burner indeed. Fourth quarter, Michigan going ahead of Michigan State on this one. Brian Greasy to Mercury Hayes, 22 yards. Great catch, maybe the catch of the day. Derek Mason, good concentration for Mason. And then later, it leads to this. The touchdown, 25 yards to Najee Carter. And Michigan State with the upset. Put it in the books. The Spartans at home at Spartan Stadium, 28-25 over number 7 Michigan. The loss ended any thoughts Michigan may have had of winning a national or Big Ten title. With protests outside Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, number 1 Nebraska welcomed back suspended running back Lawrence Phillips, who scored a touchdown in his return that helped out the Huskers to a 73-14 destruction of Iowa State. But the big back turned out to be another guy, Amon Green. He did a fine impersonation of Phillips. Let's check out some of it.
Number 1 Nebraska.
Amon Green takes the handoff. He would have 4 touchdowns on the day. Here he sets up one by his buddy, Tommy Frazier. Frazier from the I formation. Option to the outside. Tommy Frazier, 2 scores on the day. Another Heisman hopeful doing the job. Amon Green. Oh, he's in the pink here. Look at this. Plenty of room. And he scores. Nebraska, number 1 in the nation. And the band played on 73-14. No problem whatsoever for the 9-0 Huskers, 5-0 in the Big 8. Oklahoma and Kansas State. Big day for quarterback Matt Miller. Hits Mitch running for the touchdown over the middle. That tied the school record with 32 games with at least 1 completion. Now, 14-3, Miller looks for Kevin Lockett. Lockett locks it all up. Great catch. That's a school record with his 18th touchdown pass of the year. That would tie the record. He'd go on to break it with 19 for the season. Nice job by Matt Miller and K-State, number 9 in the nation. 49-10 the final score. K-State now 8-1, 4-1 in the Big 8. John Hessler passed for 301 yards and 5 touchdowns. Number 10, Colorado cruising past Oklahoma State by 13. Number 11, Kansas over Missouri, 42-23. L.T. Levine rushed for 100 yards and a touchdown. Chris Jones returned an interception, 35 yards for a score for the winners. More college football on the way. Florida's Danny Wuerffel watches somebody else break a record while Notre Dame wins and loses, all in the same afternoon. We'll explain when we come back. How you doing?
Real people, candid responses. The question, why choose a no-name company for your long distance?
A low-priced, no-frills provider.
One of my friends says, oh, well, I can get you such and such. It'll save you,
8 cents a minute,
I can't remember even what percent they said that I could save.
18 cents a minute.
29%.
But do they know what the trade-offs are with a no-name company?
As far as I know, this company provides little or no customer service.
You know, when I have tried to get a hold of them, sometimes I can't.
We haven't had that problem yet.
Yet. Sometimes the bills aren't real consistent.
They provide long distance for
I don't have a calling card.
phone booths.
And do they know if they're saving on all types of calls with a no-name company?
My husband complains about, look at all these directory assistance calls.
And I'm not so sure I really save that much.
The big test will be the next bill we get.
I haven't really taken a look at it. I've just kind of been oblivious to anything else.
Take a look now. Introducing AT&T True Reach Savings. For the first time ever, save on all types of AT&T calls in the U.S., no matter who you call, how you call, or where you call from.
I use AT&T. I like it.
Now there's more to like. Save 25% off every type of call on your AT&T phone bill. Guaranteed. When you spend $25 a month. Call 1-800-GET-TRUE.
I would be very comfortable with 25% off. Just take the 25% off your bill. Great, because that's more money in my pocket.
Only with AT&T True Reach Savings can you save on AT&T calls such as AT&T Calling Card, Collect, Fax, Modem, or even AT&T Cellular Long Distance.
I'm already taking down information. She has to. She's got True Reach written.
Start saving on all your calls. Call now to sign up and we'll switch you free. Call 1-800-GET-TRUE.
Yeah, and I'll go with the plan. I'm going to call them. Look, this is how much I spent in phone calls. Can you beat it? They're going to work with me.
Savings and service. That's your true choice. AT&T.
Scoreboard Central rolls on. Thanks for joining us. Danny Wuerffel sat while Eric Kresser showed he could start for just about any other team in the country. With Wuerffel's Heisman hopes given the day off against an overmatched opponent, Kresser made the most of the opportunity, breaking his teammates' school passing record in the process. That's what happened. Let's check it out. Wuerffel would be warming up on the sidelines, and that's about it. This guy was warmed up before he even got on the field. Kresser finding Jaquez Green, 96 yards on this play, 24-6, Florida cruising easily. Third quarter, Kresser connects with Tremaine Allen. This would go 43 yards. It was Kresser's first start in 4 years. 4 years. Well, that's why, because Wuerffel's been around. Number 3 Gators produced 695 yards of offense. They're now 8-0 for only the second time in school history. The Gators can clinch a spot in the league title game with a victory next weekend at South Carolina. Peyton Manning threw for 2 touchdowns, ran for another. Jay Graham rushed for a pair of scores as well. Number 5 Tennessee zipping Southern Miss 42-0. Dennis Riddle rushed for 174 yards and a game-winning touchdown. Number 16 Alabama beating LSU by a score of 10-3. The Tide now 7-2. Number 21 Auburn over Northeast Louisiana 38-14. Stephen Davis rushed for 111 yards and a pair of third-quarter touchdowns in the contest. Remember the name Tom Krug. He's the guy who will be taking the place of Notre Dame starting quarterback Ron Powlus, who sustained a broken humerus in his left arm in the third quarter against Navy Saturday afternoon. Palace will be out for the season, but Crew Chody learned his lessons well by rallying the Irish to a victory over a stubborn Navy squad. Highlights for you, Lou Holtz and his Fighting Irish trying to beat a weak Navy team. Weak, you say, Lou? Weak? I don't think so. Check out the option. Russ Scott takes it in for the score. 7-0 Navy. Holtz a bit antsy. Good reason. His team's behind again. ND quarterback Ron Powers, while he was in the game, off balance. Good throw. Leon Wallace, watch the fingertips. They're good hands, people. 7-all. Here's where Palace will lose the rest of the season. Chased by Fernando Harris. Fernando brings him down hard. It's just one of those things. Not much you can do. It's a broken arm for Palace. He's gone for the year. Here's the backup. Tommy Krug takes the handoff up top to Derek Mays. Mays, touchdown. They gave it to him. That's what happens when you're playing at South Bend, right? 35-17, Notre Dame over Navy. Number 19, Oregon, just ducky, 24-22 over Washington. Oregon had a 24-0 lead and barely held on. Whittle a 4-yard score in the contest. Johnson an 89-yard kickoff return for the Ducks. Guy Wachholtz tossed an 8-yard touchdown pass to Keyshawn Johnson with 39 seconds left for the winning score. 14th ranked Southern Cal victorious by one. Just one, 31-30. And one more win will advance them to the Rose Bowl. UCLA and Arizona State. Well, those guys from South Los Angeles having their problems. Except for this. Nice one by Javelin Guidry. 10-0 Bruins on top, looking to cruise. Arizona State's defense not full one bit, though, on the reverse off the punt. Safety! That's a safety. What a nasty play. Jake Plummer in the fourth throws a 27-yard touchdown pass to Kenny Mitchell. 34-27, Arizona State. And you know what? It's time for the high fives. 37-33. The final score, number 22, UCLA, goes down. Two schools with mascots that just love each other. Fourth quarter, 24-14 Arkansas. Mississippi State pulls within 3. The 5-yard touchdown pass, Derek Tate to Kiefer McGee. And that'll make any coach happy, Jackie Sherrill especially. The Hail Mary, Mississippi State, a last chance, 1 second to play, no time on the clock to see it, and it's crowded and it falls to the ground. And Arkansas, you're right, is the SEC West champion in the final, 26-21. Number 20, Syracuse fell to Virginia Tech. Watch for the Hokies to be in the top 25 when the new poll comes out tomorrow. And, of course, we will have that first thing when the AP poll comes out tomorrow afternoon. We'll have it on Scoreboard Central. Virginia Tech a winner, 31-7. Texas Tech in Texas. Sean Mitchell with the handoff. Gone. 32 yards. Puts Texas on top by a score of 7-zip. It would be just a sign of things to come. Zebby Letheridge with his problems as well. Intercepted. A streak of 214 passes without an INT goes by the boards. Chris Carter with the INT. And here's a guy who's open, Justin McLemore. You know, Justin says, just give me the ball, because I know how to run that slant pattern. Texas would go on to a huge, huge victory. But watch this first. You want to listen to this hit? Go ahead, go ahead. Are you hurting as much as he is? I am. That hurt. Check this out. Tony Rogers nailed by Tony Brackens. You know what? He's a kicker. Tony Rogers is a kicker. He'll never do that again. Coach, don't call my play anymore. 48-7, the final, Texas over Texas Tech. For all the scores, check the New Sports Score box in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, up to the minute, 24 hours a day, right here on New Sport, your sports news channel. Still lots more to come on Scoreboard Central. The night on the ice, including the Lindros Flyers and the buzz around the NBA. Just how much can Alonzo Mourning spend in one day? And will he buy his new coach a new suit? All those answers and many more coming up.